Right, guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sean Jones and I'm here with
Hassan. I'm Hassan Haider.
Now, this is a little bit of a different format for my channel. Obviously, you guys are used to the reaction format, but as I said, I want to bring a little bit of different value to the channel. You know, we've got a lot of expertise between the both of us. You'll get to know Hassan and what he does in a minute. You guys have sent in a lot of questions. Hopefully, this is the first of many that we can do. And yeah, so let's just get the ball rolling. We've got some general points to talk about. But first, Hassan, introduce yourself. What do you do?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I was just going to say, a lot of your viewers might have already seen me on that video you posted of me on your channel.
Right.
That might be a good place to start.
Yeah, let's start there.
So
yeah,
how Sean and I met was I saw a video. I think someone tagged you on one of my tweets.
Right, okay, yeah.
And then they said, like, Sean needs to make a video about this or something like that. Anyway, then you'd made a video and I'd seen it, or someone sent me the link to it.
It's because I'd reacted to Sneeko sparring Jake Paul before.
Right,
so
okay.
someone said, oh, Sneeko's sparring again. I was like, okay, who's this guy? And then right.
So then I saw this video about me. I was like, okay, that's cool, because that's, it's cool.
Yeah.
So I decided to watch it, and then I just saw him talk about me and Sneeko. And then I was thinking, as I was watching the video, it might be good to fly Sean out, and then he can make a fighting video with me, and he can show me some things when it comes to sparring, whatever. And then I watched towards the end of the video, and then at the end of the video, he was saying to Sneeko, if you're ever in Dubai, I can come out and see you, blah, blah, blah. So I thought, okay, I'll message Sean on Twitter, then I can tell him, you want to come to Dubai, basically, long story short. So
yeah, I think I literally said the words, fly me out.
You might have, yeah, to Sneeko.
And then next thing, did I say it to you, or I think I might have said it to both of you, or did I say it to Sneeko?
I think Sneeko, I just had the idea, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I just said it kind of half jokingly, but obviously I want to do more content like this anyway. But I really rated your boxing skills, because I was really surprised to find out that you hadn't even trained that much before. So I was like, and I know that Sneeko had trained a little bit. So I was like, okay, this guy's pretty decent. So do you want to tell them a little bit about, because I wasn't even aware of what you'd done prior to that video. So do you want to just obviously educate the audience a little bit on like what you do and who you are?
Oh, you're not fight, okay. So business-wise, there's, I'd say, 3 main things I do right now. If you follow me on social media, the main thing you'll know me for is I have a private network called New Money. The second biggest thing I have, I'd say, is, or the second most popular thing I'm known for is my e-com brands with my friend Craig. So we have 5 Shopify brands at the moment. Yeah. We're constantly looking to scale that. And then I also work with influencers where I take a percentage of their total revenue, total profit, whatever you want to call it, and basically just give them expertise. Even we were talking earlier today, I won't go into too much detail, obviously, what we were saying on the podcast, but I was explaining into in more detail what I do. But yeah, I'm basically giving people my expertise, helping them build their own sales team, helping them scale their offers, choosing a product. Because a lot of people have attention, they have an audience, but they don't really know how to monetize it in the full power they could be doing effectively. And then I also have a door-to-door sales team, which is what I got started with in business. But I'd say that's like my 4th or 5th biggest income at the moment. Crypto actually made me, well, it's January now, but December was a huge month for me.
Oh, in crypto, yeah, because it's all coming back up now, isn't it?
I just had loads of crypto. Bitcoin bought at 20K,
nice.
And then it went to 44, and I think I sold at 43.9K. It was a nice little double, and if you put a decent amount, it'll make you a decent answer.
In Bitcoin itself?
Yeah.
So I had a client, and he got into Bitcoin when it was, I think when it was like about like $50 or something like that.
Right, no, not like that.
Yeah. He got in super early. But yeah, so you're a bit of, if you like jack of all trades, but your specialties like sales, monetizing attention.
100% sales.
Yeah, so if someone's
I'm good at sales, yeah.
So if someone's got an audience, you're really good at being able to show them how to maybe create a product and then monetize that. Do you generally give people advice on what products to market, or is it usually someone who's got expertise already?
I mean, it depends. Like if someone says, this is my audience right now, I could suggest a product for your audience. Yeah. I'm pretty good at that as well. But even with the New Money, I have one guy, like I said, Craig, he lives with me now in the house. Since we've become friends, obviously I've got into e-com with him. I've invested into him when it comes to e-com stores. But then I've taught him loads of stuff when it comes to personal brand. Like he's got some more of a little personal brand now.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Okay, so quick question, just because I'm going to assume that like my audience, it's typically not built around like business-based stuff. So for the people out there who don't know what e-com or e-commerce is, could you just like give them a little bit of advice on what that is? Or insight, sorry.
I mean, very simply, it's just online sales, right?
Yeah.
Like commerce in general is just business, but e-commerce is like online.
Yeah.
So e-learning is just buying like things online, whether it's courses or mentorships or just learning online. So lots of people nowadays are buying info products online.
Yeah.
Or they're just buying physical products online. Let's say a t-shirt.
Yeah.
So you can sell anything online. We sell home goods mainly.
Yeah.
But you can sell anything. But yeah, Craig is the guy when it comes to e-com, but he was someone who joined my private network, New Money. back in August 2022.
Yeah.
So a long time ago. And we just basically started talking when he was moving to Dubai. He was setting up his residency and I was setting up my residency. It was at the same time.
Yeah.
We basically were going to Nando's every day in Dubai, going to the cigar lounge, all these kind of things. We just became close. And I realized he was legit in ecom. He realized I was legit in sales and like social media and talking to people. And then we kind of just combined forces. And I've helped him with this, he's helped me with this. And now we're both doing.
Yeah, see, I can't wait to get into this stuff with you because obviously we spoke a lot today about it, about just like the power of networking and how like, you know, just a silly little video on my behalf talking about someone sparring has created this connection with us two now. I've seen that you've done a lot of podcasts with, someone's asked on my Instagram, are you friends with HS? So obviously he's, you know, people have picked up hints that I've posted on social media. HS is killing it right now. And you guys met through...
So I saw HS in the gym in Dubai.
Okay.
And I basically just went up to him and I was just like, yo. And then I just started giving him, I guess, not literally right from the rip. It was actually just like he saw one of the watches I had on. And then also, we're just talking about some other topics like, oh, when's your next song coming out? But then basically within a minute, I was just giving him some business game based on his situation. Because I know at the time, I think he had his YouTube banned or something like that. One of the things he had was banned.
He's been banned loads.
So many times.
I think like he's had like 10 different TikToks.
So many times.
But I think that's usually when you're onto something. It's like when people are trying to shut you down. Like you're making noise. It's like the tape method a little bit. You know, love them or hate them. It's like if you're making noise. It's a dichotomy because you're trying to get more attention online, and we know the boring stuff. The general business advice that you're going to give online, it's not sexy, is it? So you've got to spruce it up a little bit and make it spicy.
Because people don't actually want to work.
Yeah.
So then it's like you have to say something that will piss them off deliberately. Right, you give them what they want.
Yeah.
You give them the bit of the lifestyle, the flexing, the arrogance, and then you actually give them what they need on the back end. So, for example, in this podcast, the people who watch this, they're the more serious viewers. But the people who might see our short form content on TikTok or IG or whatever, they're the ones I might have to like show them the swimming pool, the girls, the cars, the whatever, or the watch.
The girls have just left, just so you know, they just left. So we'll get them back after the podcast. We don't want to get cancelled, but yes. So there's like that fine line, isn't it? If you're trying to like, I always say like, especially coming from the world of fitness, is I almost want to trigger people into action. If I'm too soft and too, come on, you can do it, they're not going to do anything. But if I say, and for the lack of a better word, come on, you fat bastard, they're going to be like, oh, and they might actually get their ass off the couch. But then at the same time, it's that fine line of, oh, I could get cancelled, or maybe people would come for me. But I'm a firm believer, if you're not getting hate, then you're not really saying anything of significance, you know what I mean? You're always going to get equal, like not equal, but a certain amount of hate as well as praise. So I mean, I
feel like as well, what it is even the people who you call fat and this and that, they might never change, and they probably won't.
Yeah.
Because I think you get to a certain age where you don't really change. I think it's more so a case of those people are then going to comment, and then they'll boost the algorithm to help you find more of the serious people who actually want to listen to your content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I almost view these fat people, the ones who, not necessarily fat, I mean, in your niche, let's say, right? The losers, they're the ones who help push your content to the other people who might actually be interested in your overall message.
Yeah.
So it's like you use them as pawns to find. Like even me on Twitter.
You hear that? These are all pawns. I'm only joking. I'm joking.
So on Twitter, I have 100K followers right now, and I get a lot of hate. But the way I see it is those haters, those guys who really like, oh, those cars aren't yours, even though they're showing endless social proof why they're mine, blah, blah, blah. The actual card ownership and everything. Yeah. Because in Dubai, you get like these gold cards that show you own the car.
Okay.
And people still say, oh, it's not real, blah, blah, blah. You're renting them. They're your friend's car, even though it says money. Anyway.
Yeah.
Those comments, that hate pushes my brand, pushes the algorithm to people like yourself who might even see me in the first place. But like, yo, this video, and then now you made a reaction. Now we're here together. You know, now there's some form of connection. Yeah. There's business potentially. So that's just the way I see social media.
Yeah, it's funny though, because like I like to have a healthy amount of arguing with the trolls in the comments, and people always say, "Oh, the trolls got you triggered, or you're losing sleep." And it's like, no, like you don't understand that you commenting negative stuff actually helps me. Me engaging back with you helps me. It's just more engagement for the algorithm. You're ultimately, you haters, you trolls are going to make me more money. Yeah. So those people who are hating on you and saying, yeah, that lifestyle's fake, because look, it is hard to believe, 24 years old, absolutely smashing it, you know, made millions. Even I was a little bit dubious. I'm like, well, what's he doing? What's he scamming? I don't think like that, but, you know, you just do think like, what's going on there?
You should. You should think about that. I'm saying to you guys at home, if you see someone online talking a big game, you should absolutely look into that person and think, what is he doing?
Yeah.
You should. Otherwise, then you're actually a stupid person and you're just a believer. You're a sheep.
Yeah.
You should be sat there thinking, okay, this is a bit dodgy. Because most people online are lying.
Yeah.
So you should go do your research.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not saying, believe me straight away. I'm saying like, okay, go check my Twitter, go check everything else, make your own judgment after time.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like, people are just too quick to believe like, oh, this person's lying or that person's telling the truth. Or no, you have to obviously be smart.
Yeah.
But, social media, like everyone, like a lot of people are exaggerating, a lot of people are lying because they know they can get followers, get clout, get money. So you should be smart, man. Take precaution.
Take precaution. Always do your own research and that. Like, I think the problem is, as well as the social media favours lying. I done a video on this the other day on my YouTube channel. Fake natty. Basically, some lad who's...
I find that topic very interesting.
Yeah. So this lad's called Dylan McKnight. He's been natural for all these years, and then he just done a video on his YouTube channel coming out saying, look, I did actually take steroids 3 years ago, blah, blah, blah. Wow. Some people are saying, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. Other people are saying, yeah, it's bad. The reason why I think it's bad is because it literally, like the algorithms and social media, it favours lying. It does favour lying to a certain extent because...
In what way? You mean like...
Financially? So he's made program sales, online coaching sales. His YouTube, he makes about 10 grand a month, and he only posts about once a month from his physique. But that physique, and he markets his physique as natural, but secretly behind the scenes, he's taking gear. So that inauthenticity has helped him grow. And all these TikTokers are doing it nowadays. And you can apply this. You can apply this to anything, whether it's talking about how to make money online or fitness or whatever. I can get on the gear now and then say, oh, look, guys, I've bounced back from my long COVID, and here's my program on how I've done it, and then make loads more money because the results are that much more extreme than if I would have done it naturally. And therefore, I'll make more money. So that reinforces in my mind, ooh, when I lie, when I take the gear and I'm inauthentic, I make more money. What's the point in telling the truth? And I'm sure there's a lot of people like that in the online making money space. Do you know people like that, or have you came across? You don't have to drop any names. I'm just saying.
Of course I've come across people. Even so, when I first started talking to HS TikToki, the reason why we became such good friends, even though at the time I had like 30,000 followers on Twitter, and he had billions of views on TikTok.
Yeah,
it's just because he was like, you're one of the only young guys I know actually making money. Like even in Dubai, people just have this assumption that in Dubai there's all these young guys making money. It's like, well, yeah, making money, but I'm saying there's money, and then there's like more money.
Yeah.
So then it's like, I was making more money, and then there's a lot of people making 10K a month. Cool. But I'm saying, like, he was saying you're one of the only guys making like money.
Yeah.
So that's how we actually became close, because it's nice to find someone on your level because you actually can talk to them.
Yeah.
It's like if you're talking to someone about the gym or fitness or health or whatever, if someone's just started going to the gym and they've got their first bicep pump, the conversation isn't the same as someone who knows about every single small detail. We were talking about, metabolism earlier, metabolic rate, natural frames, ectomorph, endomorph, mesomorph, all these different things, compound movements, like everything with the gym, right? Daily undulating periodization, all these things are coming to my brain because I used to study the gym a lot. Yeah. Anyway, the point is, like, you're going to have a better conversation with someone who's actually well-versed in that topic, for sure. So that's how we actually became really close after just that first session. Yeah. Because I was giving him more knowledge, he was giving me knowledge. We both, we show each other we have the nice things. And also, it's like a lot of people say they have money and they're young, but it's like, okay, you're 35, and you have a kid, and you have a family and all these things. Yeah. So you might be a bit smarter with your money, whatever. But when you're young, if you're making a lot of money, you definitely have at least one nice car, at least one nice watch. Like my brother and I, and my friend, my business partner, we live in this house right here on the Palm. It's cost $23,000 a month. It's crazy. For rent. So I pay $15,000 of this, and my friend pays $8,000 because there's me and my brother, and there's just one of him. Yeah. Right, so that's a fair deal. Like $15,000 a month on rent. Like you can't fake that living on the Palm. And you've just come now, so this is proof to all these people at home. Like you've just come. Yeah. You've seen it. It's not like same house you see me on Twitter with. Yeah. So. And I verified he's real. I mean, like there's people out there, because I know my audience, like some of them are interested in business and they want to maybe start their own YouTube channel or become personal trainers. Right. But like the majority of people hear that number, £15,000 a month. Dollars, $23 a month. Yeah, $15,000, $20,000 a month, and like they won't be making that even in a year. Like a lot of people can't comprehend that level, and I guess maybe even I couldn't at a certain time back in the day. But then as I start personal training, and I earn more, and I built up to $7,500 a month as a personal trainer. And back when I was doing it, like it was kind of unheard of that people were doing that. And most people wouldn't believe you. Nowadays, if you're doing $7,000 as a personal trainer, that's pretty good. But there's still a lot of bottom feeders who aren't really doing that good. But every industry is the same. Like 99% of models are broke. 99% of rappers are broke. 99% of athletes are broke. 99% of everyone is broke. 99% of people doing e-com are broke. 99% of personal trainers are broke. 99% of gym owners, you have a gym, right?
Yeah.
They're broke.
Yeah.
Like everyone's broke.
Yeah.
This is what TikTok and I were talking about at length for such a long period of time. Like I said, that's why we got closer, because you're just saying everyone's broke. It's like, it's nice to find someone who's actually real, shows you the results. Like I was talking with him earlier today because you told me to...
I didn't. I just.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I say that back. Yeah.
I messaged HS TikTok. He's saying, "Oh, do you fancy doing a little interview for me channel just on your build up to the fight?" Not really expecting a reply, and then Hassan messaged them
saying, "Yo, check this." Yeah. You're right. My bad for that.
So, but just don't want to seem desperate. You know.
Yeah. No.
Hey, HS TikTok, please come on my channel.
Yeah. So basically, I lost my train of thought. He tells me like the numbers he makes a day. I used to tell him, well, sometimes I still tell him the numbers I'm making in a day, and it's like we're showing each other the actual proof.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, oh, it's Fugazi. He's showing me literal screenshots earlier today when we were at lunch.
Yeah. Here's a question for you then. So, would you be a little bit more, what's the word? Maybe like dubious or skeptical of showing someone who is poor your numbers? Because like I know just from my world, and obviously I'm not on your level, but I'm doing okay. I'm doing very above average. Like I am selective with who I speak to money about.
You have to be.
And I'm nowhere near doing seven figures yet. So like, but when I meet other business people, it's natural, and I can just talk about money dead easy because I know that they understand like the game. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, whereas I know that maybe if I'm speaking to someone who hasn't got as much money, even though I come from that, maybe they would be a bit judgmental, or maybe they won't believe me, or maybe they'll look at me through a new lens now. What about that? Did you find, like, maybe people from your past or people who are just on a lower level in terms of income, like judge you or perceive you differently because you've got more money and maybe judge you?
I mean, the social media image...
Even just in person, sorry. Right, okay. Social media or in person.
I'll go through both. So the social media image people have of you is like, oh, you're making a lot of money, you're arrogant, all you care about is money. When you've met me, like, I'm busy, I'm kind of on my phone a lot, and I'm a focused person, but it's not all I care about. I feel like I've become more humble since I made money.
Yeah.
Because when I was broke, I was like trying to prove to everyone, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that.
Yeah.
But now it's almost like I don't have to do that because I'm like the most successful, like in the most humble way possible. I'm the most successful person I've ever known.
Yeah.
Isn't like grew up with me.
Yeah.
So then it's like, I don't feel like I have this chip on my shoulder I have to prove to people from back where I used to come from.
Yeah.
But the social media image, like random strangers on Twitter might be like, oh, all you care about is money, but they've never met me, so it's fine. And English might not be their first language, so they don't understand the nuance of our point. That's a super important point. If someone right now from Pakistan is watching this, I just came from Pakistan because my friend had a wedding in Pakistan, but let's just say someone from Pakistan, a lot of their English isn't as good as English people's English, obviously. So they might misunderstand that point for arrogance, when in reality it's just English is their first language, whereas English is not their first language. So it's a lot of that as well. But yeah, I don't share with people my numbers in real life unless I know they're really making money. Ideally more money.
Yeah.
So with TikTok and I, it was fine because we're both making a lot, so none of us would get jealous of the other person. Like, I'd be happy because then it's like, oh, that's possible there.
Yeah.
And when I had a big day, he was like, oh shit.
And you take motivation, or not motivation, but like drive. It's like, oh shit.
It's not like people say like,
done this, I'm going to crank it a bit more now.
It's actually not, because I just know my next moves and I get on with them. Someone even said that the other day, that like in general, it's like, if you have a friend who's doing really well, better than you, do you say that like, I gotta be him? It's really not that. It's just because I know what I need to do to get to the next level. So it's more so, okay, now let's do this podcast quickly, then do the next test, and the next test, let's go gym after then. That's kind of my mindset. It's not so much comparing numbers, because numbers never end.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because then there's always a bigger fish then, isn't it? Like, you know,
it's not a good way to live your life.
Yeah, you pass TikTok, but then there's someone else and you compare them. Was it comparison, the thief of joy is the age-old
It's just a
saying,
depressing way to live your life. I've never been an envious guy ever since I was young. I always just looked at other people doing better and thought, they're only doing better because they put more. Obviously, if you take someone, I use this as an example all the time. Like, say you take someone like LeBron James.
Yeah.
Right, he's like 6'9". I'm not 6'9", so I don't think I'll ever be better. I don't think I'll ever be better than him at basketball. But I don't want to be better because I know, like, God didn't make me that way. I wasn't 6'10".
Yeah.
So it's like whatever. But everything else, which I feel like is attainable, and that's another thing in life. You don't usually envy people unless you know they have what's attainable. So you never envy someone like LeBron James because you know you're not built for basketball. But you envy someone who you could have been, but you didn't quite work hard enough. But then it's your fault. So whenever I see someone doing something I know I could do, but I just haven't put the work in, I'm like, I just need to put those hours in. And I believe in the 10,000 hour rule. If you put 10,000 hours into anything, you can have anything. Yeah. John,
kind of going off what you said there, have you noticed that you don't really get much hate from above in terms of above your income status? Is it mainly hate from below, like crabs in a bucket type thing where people are trying to pull you down?
Is it the same with your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like the only people hating are the smaller YouTubers than you.
Yeah.
The guys who got 1 million subs, they don't care what you're doing. They've been there, done that. They've gone from 0 to 100K and...
Yeah, they understand what goes into it. That kind of reminds me of the age-old saying with fitness. Obviously, I've got a lot of people who watch my channel who are interested in fitness. It's like, I get a lot of lads message me who say stuff like, oh, I'm really nervous to go to the gym. I'm worried about being judged. But it's like, the gym, if anything, is probably the least judgmental place to be because they've been in that position. And as you say, you can apply it to finances there, but it's the same in fitness. If you want to be somewhere where people are going to understand your path, it's going to be in the gym because that's where people have done it themselves. So little interesting segue there. You're busy. I've got a little slight, how long have we spent together today? 4 or 5 hours. Yeah. A little bit of a snippet of your life. You're constantly doing stuff non-stop. You're working. If anything, it's reminded me within business that I'm not doing enough volume.
Yeah.
I need more volume.
That's the word, volume. I like that word.
Yeah, you're just like...
Even when I was in the gym, sorry to cut you off just quickly. Yeah. When I used to take the gym really seriously, I was in my best shape. I used to do like everyday training, 6 sessions a week, 40 something sets a session. Like to failure every set. Okay. My friend Charlie and I, we were just psychos, and we even had a fitness page with both of us. We posted like our PRs and we try and break it every day. So it was like all these sets and try and break posts. We were like 18, 19, whatever. But the point is like, I just believe in volume. Yeah. If you eat enough, sleep enough, you'll be... I'm not saying it's the best scientifically, whatever. It's just what we were doing and we found it to work. Yeah. It's just like volume does take you far.
Well, I think the key, because I mean, you can look at the studies and I know what people will be like. I was like, oh no, but you only need this many sets. But the thing is that if like that's your threshold to build muscle and you're doing that much over it, you're kind of covering all bases. Now, you will get a certain degree of overtraining with it, but you're young and it doesn't matter. And it's the same with business as well. It's like, you post on YouTube, I post on YouTube. I do once a day. You're pretty much doing, once a day or once every few days?
Recently, it's been, I say...
If you include shorts...
Yeah, then definitely once a day if you include shorts.
But then you're posting on Twitter. I looked on Twitter, I think it was like 2 p.m. today, and there was like about 30 posts or like 10 different posts or something. Yeah. And then I go on the Telegram, and there's about 20 posts in there, and I'm like, damn, I'm just not doing enough. So a little thing about fitness, there's many people out there who create excuses and like, oh, I haven't got time. If anything, you don't have any time and you still find time to go. Like, how do you still manage to prioritize training? You spar for 1.5 hours the other day. You're lifting weights. You know, you're doing all this. How do you still manage to prioritize time, or why do you? For training?
I love talking about time. Like, it's probably my favorite topics to talk about, because I just feel like time's such an illusion. I'll get onto how I manage it in a second. I just want to say this, right? I realized the other day for the first time in my life, where I never typed this in my calculator before, 24 hours in a day times 365 in a year is 8,760 hours. Okay. Isn't that crazy? 8, in an entire year, there's only 8,760 hours.
Yeah,
that sounds way less than a year.
Yeah,
8,000 hours seems like nothing. Yeah. It feels like I could finish it tomorrow. Like, it's nothing. It sounds like nothing. Yeah. So then you think, okay, a third of them are sleeping. So on the calculator thing, was 2,920.
Are sleeping.
Sleeping. So you have like 5,700 something left awake. Because when you're sleeping, I don't even count them as hours, because you're not awake, right? So when you're awake, you have 5,700 hours. So your whole 2023, everything you remember from 2023, that was only 5,700 hours. Then you think about it like, oh, I probably wasted 10% of my time either scrolling on social media.
A lot more for most people.
Yeah. So scrolling on social media, because some people spend 4 hours out of 16, that's a quarter. Yeah. So scrolling on social media,
watching TV,
talking to idiots, smoking weed, taking drugs, drinking too much alcohol, partying too much, waking up too late, being hungover, being in bed, being sick, and you're sick because you're not training hard enough and you're not eating well enough and all these things. Yeah. It's like you're wasting 4,000 out of those 5.7 hours. You've got no time left, and then the rest of the hours you're at your 9-to-5 job or whatever, because you have to pay your bills. Yeah. So it's like, this is the thing, when you're working a 9-to-5 job and you're trying to escape and you're trying to become financially free, a third you're sleeping, 2.9 you're sleeping, 2.9 you're at your 9-to-5 job. So you only have the other 2.9 left to chase your dreams. But within those 2.9, you've got to go gym, eat food, spend a bit of family time, have a bit of time to just decompress for a second. You haven't got many hours to chase your dreams.
So why do you prioritize going to the gym?
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good.
So I go to the gym because I feel good if I go to the gym, and it just gives me a certain feeling. I feel confident when I go to the gym. In terms of how I manage my time and all these things, it's just like my mindset is always just do more, think less. Yeah. Like even this podcast right now, we haven't planned it too well. We've got a couple of things written down.
Yeah, a few.
But it's better than it's better than not doing the podcast.
Yeah.
And we do it quite quickly. And then now you learn if these kind of, you learn if this kind of content works for your channel.
Yeah.
And also, I've got a podcast with you done. Okay, that's another podcast done.
Yeah.
You can get some short form clips out of this.
Yeah.
It's like, why not? And how long does it take? We've been filming now cameraman just came behind the camera and said it's been 26 minutes.
Yeah, and it's a good segue into discipline as well. Like, you just do it because you've got to. If you, Tate always says it, if you do stuff based on how you feel, nothing would get done. Like, we've just went for that meal then, and my belly was bursting. That's why I said I'm happy that this table's in the way right now, because my belly is so fat. Lamb kofta, rice like this. And then I thought the meal was over and you give me more mash. So I was sitting there and we're like, I don't want to go to the gym. And we could have easily have left this podcast. And you was even saying at one point, this is frustrating trying to get this camera set up. But we knew that we've got to do it.
You have to do it. Yeah,
we've got to do it. And I think that's the problem. It's the same. Like, I've seen
it's priorities.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you why. Because I remember I used to never miss the gym. I'm saying, like, when I first started going to the gym and I was obsessed with it, I didn't miss a day in like 2.5 years when I was in my best shape. Never. Like, I'm talking like I'll take a scooter, not like a motorbike. I'm talking like an actual physical
scooter.
Little physical kid scooter. Like a 3 mile, 4 mile ride from my house to the gym. No, sorry, I'm dragging it a bit. 2.5 miles, 4 kilometers. And it'll take me like a little bit of time, but it's better than walking because it's quicker, the scooter.
Yeah.
I'll take that through the snow because I remember it was snowing and the gym was about to close in an hour. I was like, I've got to train for even half an hour. Like, I was just so obsessed with just going to the gym. Now, obviously, that obsession's changed into making money.
Yeah.
Because I feel like as you get older, making money is slightly more important. Like, it's not like the gym isn't important.
Also, sorry, let me just interject. You've also built a foundation. I think like you built a foundation with fitness, but then, so it's okay to take a little bit of time away from that to put into making money.
But then now I'm back onto the fitness with that same level of, like, now 2024, I want to just really focus physique-wise.
Yeah.
Physical strength, gym, sparring, everything, the whole lot.
But your routine within business isn't going to change, though, is it? Like, do you think you'll still be going as hard, despite the fact that, right, I want to push fitness a bit more now, you want to do a fight, you want to have a fight, are you still going to, like, make sure that
business will be the same. The only difference will be, maybe even after this podcast, I'll just tell my maid, Naomi, I'll be like, yo, Naomi, like, just please make sure that there's this in the fridge every single day.
Yeah.
Just a little couple tweaks like that. Okay. And I'll just spend an extra 10 minutes a day eating.
Yeah.
An extra 1,000 calories. That's it. It's a very simple change.
Yeah.
People overcomplicate things. Like, I always say this to my Twitter and my Telegram channel. I always say, like, progress is seen quite instantly. Let's say you are currently working 3 hours a day on your social media or on your e-com store, or you're knocking on 50 doors a day. If you suddenly just start knocking on 85 doors a day, 6 hours on social media, 5-6 hours on your e-com store, you're going to suddenly get way more results. If you eat 2,000 calories a day, let's say you're maintaining weight. If you eat 4,000 calories, you're going to suddenly gain weight. I'm not saying it's going to be good weight, but you're going to start gaining weight instantly, and you're going to instantly get stronger.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But once again, it's volume dependent, isn't it? So I'm saying this to personal trainers all the time, and just people who are asking for advice on business is, oh, well, I can't get clients, I can't make sales, I can't do this. And I'm like, okay, tell me what you've done. I know we're kind of dipping in and out of fitness and business here, but like, it's because...
I think it's good, though, for the viewer.
Yeah. There's a lot of mutual... I feel like there's a lot of commonalities between the two. And I say to them, right, okay, well, what have you done today? How many DMs have you sent? Well, what do you mean? Well, how many DMs have you sent on Instagram or Facebook? Oh, well, don't use Facebook. Why? I just don't. Okay, well, already you're not on a platform that is actually quite good for leads. And what, you've sent no DMs? Well, no, I've been busy doing what? Picking your ass, picking your nose, like... What are you doing? Sitting there with your missus watching Netflix. Oh, but I needed to have a relax. Well, do you need to have a relax, or do you need to make a sale? Like, do more volume, and it's always the case. The people who start DMing more people, or run more ads, or email market more, or put up more posts, always make more sales. And I say to people, like, every now and then you'll get a personal trainer who qualifies, and I'm talking from a business aspect, I'm not talking about a fitness aspect here, but a personal trainer will qualify, and then all of a sudden they're instantly fully booked. And it's usually the case that personal trainer has just got loads of mates prior to him qualifying. So he's popular. So he knows people, he's got connections, he's got leads right there, ready to go. Whereas when I speak to personal trainers and, they don't speak to the family anymore, they've got no mates because they're socially awkward, and or they've had fights with them and this and that. It's like, and you've got 10 followers on Instagram, yeah, you are going to struggle because no one knows you. So put in that work, put in the groundwork, a little bit of elbow grease, and start DMing people and volume. But people just don't. Alex Hormozy talks about it all the time. People underestimate the power of volume. Take what you're currently doing, times it by 100, and then you're somewhere in the ballpark of getting to succeed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. That's my biggest philosophy as well. It's like, whatever you're trying to do, whether you're posting on social media, whether you're knocking door to door, just do way more, and then it's impossible to fail. Like, say right now, because I know people who post like 1 Instagram story a day, 2 Instagram stories a day, and they're trying to promote a product. I'm like, just do 28, do 40, do 60. It's like, why would you not do six? Like, if we were on this podcast right now, I could take, like, I think even just before this podcast, I did do this. I posted a picture of the fact that we're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
And then,
you're making me feel like I'm slipping. I need to do that.
No, like, you do, yeah. So what I'm saying is, like, I could right now, if we just finished the podcast now, my phone's out of charge to be honest, but I could take like one picture now and say, great podcast with Sean right now. Then I can be like, yo, Sean, repost this on your story. That's 2 actions. Post on my story, build trust with my own audience. Maybe I'll get 6 followers from your Instagram, whatever. You might want to follow me as well. Right, that's 2 things. Then I might take a picture of the pool and be like, weather in December is perfect in Dubai. Again, showing people the house. Right, showing content. There's so many little things you could do. Then I can make a video like, yo guys, if you're trying to join my private network, new money, blah, blah, blah. That could be all done in 1 minute. That's how I operate.
Yeah.
So it's like, you just got to do more. And it's like, if I was talking to those personal trainers with 10 followers trying to get more clients, I would say, okay, you have 10 followers. That's not good, because even if all 10 buy from you only have 10 clients. So then it's like, okay, what are we going to do?
That's a good perspective. I like that.
So then it's like, let's just get more, let's post more reels. Let's do something. Like you said, let's run ads. Let's pay for promotion. Maybe you can go to someone like Sean, not Sean necessarily, but let's say someone like Sean, be like, look, you have more followers than me. I can pay you this much. Every follower you get me, I pay you this much, because in your mind, you know how much a follower is worth for you. Because you've had 20 followers and you know every 20 followers, you get 1 sale of your program. So then it's like 20 followers, 0.5% of the following is the sale. So then it's like, okay, I pay Sean this much. You work out your numbers, then you know your back-end numbers, then you know the LTV of a customer, the lifetime value of a customer, then you know how much it's worth to spend on ads and paid promo and paid marketing. Because I used to have this business on Snapchat where we used to resell clothes, like things like Gucci. So this is obviously real Gucci, but a lot of people, let's say in the UK, 17-year-olds in England who come from council housing, they can't afford the real Gucci or real t-shirt or whatever. Yeah. So we sell them replica clothing. They know it's replica, it's not like a scam. And we would pay UK rappers like £300-400 for a story promo on their Snapchat. And then all those kids who follow like those kind of UK drill rappers, grime, rap, whatever, they'd buy that Gucci t-shirt for £100 instead of the $500-600 it is.
Yeah,
that's a business. I obviously fucked it up in the end. But the point is it was doing well. It was making me a lot of money. And I learned a lot of lessons about social media marketing and stories. And I used to post volume of stories. That's why I learned that like mindset. 50 a day, 80 a day. Like, never stops. Even yourself, like you have such a big YouTube.
Yeah.
I was saying, like, you could just be doing so much more. Like, why aren't you could even pay some kid from Pakistan $400 a month to just run your Twitter for you if you wanted. I run my Twitter myself, but you could do that.
Yeah.
$10 a day.
I know. One thing you've taught me today, just passively, is maximizing time. Like I've seen how much you've maximized time. Let's talk about making money online then. I believe one of the, like, if you're not making money these days, I don't know, I feel like it's a big excuse. Yeah, they say it's a little bit harder because inflation's went up and all that. Yeah, but there's more resources than ever.
That's bullshit.
I believe one of the biggest skills you can have is resourcefulness, is the ability to be resourceful.
Can I tell you one of my favorite quotes?
Go for it.
The moral is to the physical as 3 is to 1. So it's from Napoleon.
Okay.
Right? One of the best war generals ever.
Yeah.
And he basically is saying what it means is your mentality, your hunger to win, your willingness, your determination, your perseverance is 3 times more important than the physical, the actual reality of your situation. So someone right now could be looking at me like, oh, it's easy for Hassan to make content because he's got a table tennis table to put the fucking tripod. He's got Sean out here. He's got a swimming pool, private beach there, all these mansions in the background. He's got money, 6 supercars, all these things.
Yep.
But someone right now watching this who's even hungrier than me, I doubt it, but someone who's even hungrier than me, right? His hunger is 3 times more important than my swimming pool. Like, your hunger is that much more important. So even if someone has £1 million in the bank right now so they can pay for the ads, let's say right now I'm a personal trainer, I have 10 grand in the bank, and you have another personal trainer with 0 in the bank. The guy with 0, even if let's change it to $1 million. If I have $1 million, he has 0. If he's so much hungrier to win, he'll hustle, work a job at Wendy's in America, or IKEA in England, McDonald's. He'll hustle, buy a little cheap camera, or just use his iPhone.
Yeah.
Film videos because of his hunger and determination to win. He'll be so much more effective than me with my $1 million. Because I don't want it. I don't want it as much. So my biggest thing is just like, just that aggression every day. I'm just waking up aggressive and just sack. New day, new money.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you just said that word as well, aggression, because like I often feel people get sad. I think Tate might have said it in the past. People often like get sad and down and depressed, but you can't channel that into anything. One thing, it was COVID really that brought it out of me. I've always had that hunger and that aggression, but just really getting my business shut down and police being out at the door and then threatening 10 grand fines, really.
Yeah.
And my missus is pregnant, and I'm like, and then I've got all the PTs coming at me. I'm like, I was angry at the world, but at the same time, it's what drove me to succeed. And I don't know, I feel like people take far too much of a defeatist mentality, and you've got to have a little bit more. A little bit more of a mentality of like a fighter. It's like, no, look, let's extrapolate this out. Let's say you are a little bit sad about your situation right now. You're not earning the money you want to earn. You've got a bit of a gut on you, and you don't feel like the man of the house, whatever it might be. It's like, okay, well, then that's the reality. Are you just going to stay like that? Like, you either do something or don't. It is literally that binary. It's like, you can sit there and you can complain about your situation. You can complain about motivation and Hassan's had it easy. He probably had this given to him. He probably had that, and you can take all the excuses. But like ultimately, you still have to do something about it yourself, or just don't. And it's
people say that to me as well. They're like, "Oh, you come from money." I'm like, I didn't. That's why I was knocking on doors. I think door-to-door sales is the hardest industry to be in, because you're literally getting rejected face to face. But that's why I super don't give a fuck now. The reason why it's so easy for me to just say what I want whenever I want, how I want, is because door to door, you're literally talking to someone like, okay, not this close maybe, but like here, and I'm constantly just like trying to sell you in person. So you think
people just close the door as well on you.
To be honest, I'm pretty good at sales, so it didn't happen too much because I learned very quickly how to not get such a horrible reaction. But it would happen a fair bit.
Okay.
But the point I'm trying to make is, as you get better and better at sales, it happens less and less. And at the end of the day, you realize it's not even scary. I can't remember, like me personally knocking on doors, because now my team does, but I can't personally remember like any of the faces from the 3-4 years ago when I was knocking on the doors. Yeah. Like they all blend into one human. Like you don't remember, and they don't remember me. No way they remember me.
Yeah, they don't remember Hassan. Yeah. They're
not gonna be sat there like, oh, now he's 6. No, they don't care.
Yeah.
And what I used to do as well is like I used to spend sometimes an hour and a half talking to these people. Because I'd make the sale, they sign the paperwork for the boiler. I used to sell boilers door to door. And I'd be speaking to this old man or old woman, right? I'd be speaking to them like, literally about their life. Because I thought it'd be interesting to I was always fascinated by human nature. So I'd be talking to them and like, even these people I spoke to for an hour and a half, I can't tell you what they look like. Just some random old grandma or granddad. Like, no one cares. Like, life moves on, life's fleeting, and people are always going to make excuses. But I love that quote from Napoleon, because it's exactly talking about how you need to be resourceful. And entrepreneurship is just resource management. That's all it is. That's all entrepreneurship is.
What's that quote again, just to remind me? Put it
the
in
moral is to the physical as 3 is to 1.
Okay.
I like Napoleon. That. It's so good. It's just how I sum my life up as well. Like, I could do a voice note as well. You heard me do a couple of voice notes earlier.
Yeah.
Yo, guys, so basically I was realizing, right, versus, yo, boys, so got a podcast with Sean coming up. It's going to be fucking sick. I want all of you to send me DMs right now. So basically, this guy's got 100K subs, and I guarantee you we're going to overtake him in subs within this much. Guys,
No, you're not.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, that creates that.
Yeah.
Like, then people are like, oh, shit, like, and it's not fake. That's actually how I'm excited by the future. So what I'm saying is then people listen to you like, I want to be part of his, like, they want to be close to you. They want to love that energy.
They want to be close to, close to
in
energy.
your universe.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be friends with the guy who's always making more money, who's climbing up in life. Because when you have a bad day, which we all do, like, what would Hassan do?
Yeah.
That's how people think. They message me that. Because the reason why I understand human nature quite well as well, because I have a big network of 1,370 people at this time of filming in New Money, and all the people around my age. I know what people think about when they're like having a bad day, because they message me or they're telling me when they have a good day, and it's like everyone just thinks they're more important than they are. I'm like, you ain't shit, bro.
Yeah,
like,
true.
If I die now, no one cares. Like, the world's the same. This plant's the same. This tree's the same.
I won't be the same. I'll care, Hassan.
All right, thanks, bro.
But you still post a video.
That's probably a better way of explaining it. Life moves on anyway.
Yeah.
Even if you care, life moves on. You have bills to pay.
It's the same in personal training as well. I've had, like, you get very close to your clients and all that. It was funny because I was losing clients early on in personal training, and I was reading all these books on nutrition and the difference between monosaturated and unsaturated fats. And I was learning all the intricacies, and I was going to seminars, spending £175 on these seminars on the biomechanics of muscle building, losing clients. It wasn't until, and I was getting good results, but it wasn't until I started getting books on psychology. psychology, sales also, and then when I started my first mentorship, we can touch upon this in a minute.
Yep.
When I invested in my first mentorship, me learning about business and being the client to my mentor, I don't know, maybe you could say like 5x to me retention of my clients, and all of a sudden, clients weren't leaving anymore. Was I giving them a better meal plan? No. Was I giving them better workouts? No. Did I understand their psychology better? Yes. Maybe the reason why Dave isn't sticking to his meal plan it isn't because he doesn't like eggs in the morning. Maybe it's because he's unhappy in his marriage, or he doesn't like how his gut hangs over his boxies in the morning and his wife's ridiculing him.
Or he's been misinformed of how long it's going to take for him to lose that gut. He's like, it's been a week, I've not lost it. When in reality, all he needed to know is going to take 7 weeks.
Yeah.
You know,
so what's... Okay, we've got quite a few questions, and I've got a few questions on Instagram, and I've also got a few talking points here. I get a lot of lads message me. I'm just trying to frame this into a good question. Mm-hmm. I get a lot of lads message me who struggle with motivation, and my stance was like, obviously, I come from the coaching world where I have clients and then online clients. And I abandoned online coaching because I was constantly having the same conversations with unmotivated people, trying to make them motivated. Maybe you come across this yourself, maybe like lads who've made a bit of an investment in your program, in your mentorship, and then they get that buyer's remorse and second guess, but they don't feel like they're going to be able to follow through with the results. They doubt themselves. Like, what if someone out there says to you, Hassan, I'm just not feeling generally motivated, but I want it. I'm struggling with motivation. It's a very, very general question,
topic, yeah.
But that's what I hate, is when I get these general questions. How would you deal with someone telling you that? Someone's like, Hassan, I just struggle with motivation. What would be your answer to them?
I would just say, I say this a lot. If you know my content, you hear me say this a lot. Do more, think less. Like, I always say this line. It's like my most famous line I'm always talking about. Do more, think less. Do more, think less. Do more, think less. Because as you do more, anyway, you naturally think less. Also, if you think less, you're going to do more. Like, they go hand in hand. But the reason why do more, think less is so powerful is because everyone knows some physical, universal, Newton's law. It's like, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So I can break this down in many ways. If I do X, I take a picture of this, and I take a picture and post it to my Instagram story. I do this podcast with you now. I get like a certain energy from the universe. So there's that level of equal reaction. Then there's a second equal reaction in the sense of I get the physical results from that action. Maybe I grow X a number of followers from that content. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
So there's two ways. One from the actual results, the physical. Okay, if you post YouTube, you get your ad revenue, you get your program sold, and you build your brand, the Sean Jones Fitness brand. Maybe you get more clients IRL as well. And then you also get the energy return of like, I've done something, now I feel better. So for me, it's more about the energy than the results. Because my logic is, and I learned this in door-to-door, this is going to be a long point. So quickly, I'll try and go through it quickly. So with door-to-door, I was realizing one day I'd be super happy and one day I'd be super sad. And there was this constant level of emotions, like roller coaster of emotions. I was like, I can't do this because every time I'm happy and positive, I make sales. When I'm feeling down, it's hard for me to get out that rut. I'm like, fuck my life, this is awful. So what I realized is if I told myself each door was the same, I'm getting paid a flat fee for each door, not commission, a flat fee per door, I'll be way more stable. So I just told myself, instead of telling myself, because I used to get £100 per 3-bed semi before I got paid rise. Okay. 3-bed semi detached property, I'd get £100. And it'd be like one actual sale every 25 doors, like actually installed. So it's £4 a door.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, I get £100 when I make a sale, or 150 if it's a 4-bed semi, blah, blah, blah. I'll tell myself it's £4 per door. So I'll just say, okay, I don't care if I haven't made a sale today. I'm just knocking on more doors. £4. I just keep picking up my £4. So when I'm tired at the end of the day, I want to go home. Before I'll be like, fuck it, let's just go home. I'm not going to make a sale. Then I'll just knock on another 10 doors, quickly get my £40, and then go home. And by the time I finish those 10 doors, I'd usually make that sale or 20 extra doors. You know what I mean? And I apply that logic with everything in life. So those extra 5 Instagram stories, that's already I don't know exactly the number in my mind, but that's money done. I don't care about the results. Just I want to do the action.
Right. So it's a perspective shift. Like,
Should I tell you something really crazy?
Yeah, go on.
Conor McGregor, okay?
Yeah.
You obviously know him. You just made a video on him recently.
Yeah.
He's worth about $1 billion, or soon to be, or
yeah. I think the Notorious Whiskey was evaluated at $1 billion. But yeah, it's a few hundred million now.
I'd say his overall name though is worth $1 billion because
the brand itself. Yeah.
Yeah, within a couple of years anyway.
Yeah.
So he's a billionaire, right? He's been training, let's say, last 15 years. Actually a bit longer, but I'm saying 15 years, 2 sessions a day. Because some days he won't have been training 2 times a day, right?
Yeah, of course.
Rest days, whatever. So that works out to be, I've done this calculation before, 10,950 sessions. So you take $1 billion divided by the 10,950 sessions. It's $91,000 per session. So really, he got paid $91,000 per session from the beginning. And that's how I view everything in life. Right now, this podcast isn't making me $91,000.
Yeah.
But I almost see it as it will, because in the future when I'm a billionaire, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that kind of logic.
Hopefully I get a little bit of that coming back my way.
Yeah, exactly.
Subscribe.
No, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so then it's like when you're saying, how do you not get, how are you not motivated? The only reason why people aren't motivated is because they think the payoff isn't big enough. Because if I told you right now, do 1 mile run or 20 press-ups for for 20 grand, you'd 100% do it.
You do it.
Even for a grand, you do 20, obviously. For a 10, I'll do the 20 press-ups just for the sake of it, give me the money.
Yeah.
You know?
And people are just too instant gratification though, aren't they?
But you're going to get that money 100% if you keep doing the work. So you just have to tell yourself that the press-ups and the gym sessions and the podcasts and the content and the phone calls, I'm always on the phone with staff and all this stuff. And for example, the editing and the thumbnails and everything, that is going to pay you whatever amount of money you want. Like Mr. Beast, when he first started, he was getting paid $0 per video, but now he's getting paid millions. So back many years ago, he probably told himself, when I become the biggest, it'll all pay off.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm always motivated, because I know it'll all pay off anyway. And B, what else is there to do? I think life is very depressing when you just sat there doing nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you've made so many good points there.
Yeah.
I think even when I look at my YouTube channel as well, like people look and go, oh, you've done so good. And it's like, well, yeah, but were you subscribed when I was getting 20 views a video, 200 views a video? Because I done that right up until like June, August. I had a few videos.
Really?
Yeah. I had a few
How many
videos.
subs were you on in August?
I was probably on about 40-ish thousand then, but I was only getting I get like 3,000 views on one, and then it'd be 200, 400, and then
So you grew quite quickly at the end.
Yeah, it was. If you look at my analytics, it's all like kind of flatline, and then in the last like 5-6 months. But the problem is most people don't have the discipline.
They don't get there.
Yeah, to upload every single. I was sitting there and I'd have to take time away from me actual business that is earning me money and that's paying the bills to sit there and go, right, hi guys, today we're talking about this, and then sit there, and the editing process is grueling, because I wasn't back then. I was like, nah, I'm not going to pay an editor when I'm not. I'll pay an editor when I'm making money from it.
Yeah.
But right now, I've got the time. You're either cash rich or time rich. I was actually very time rich at the start of this year, so I was like, right, let me just put all my time into it. And I'm sitting there, and most people don't see that. They just see the video on YouTube at the end, and they see the 1.2 million views, the 500,000 views, the 100,000 views, and the ads revenue, and they're like, oh, you're smashing it. It's like, yeah, but like, if you want to do that, that's cool, but can you sift through the other 180 videos? Can you make 180 videos and get nothing in return? For most people who haven't got a dynamic personality and who can't speak like Hassan, they speak a little bit more depressed like that. Yeah. It's going to be a lot more uploads. It's going to be a lot more of a grueling process, but you just have to be disciplined. And, to bring it back to motivation, that's why I said before we should talk about this, because, like, do you believe people have got it or not?
Yeah, I still feel like I want to talk more about this topic because it's just such a big one, and I feel like it really helps people.
Yeah.
But just to go back to your example, like, Sean's just saying basically that the first 180 videos, he got fuck all. But what I'm trying to say to you guys is, whatever journey you're about to embark on, whether it's you want to be an MMA fighter, whether it's you want to be a YouTuber like Sean, whether you want to be, a salesman, whether you want to make money with an e-com brand and have it as the next big Sanucci is like a jewelry brand in the UK. Whether you want to build the next one of these things or whatever you want to do, you have to just understand, like, you're going to get the payoff 100% later. Like, even look at someone like Dustin Poirier. He basically trained his whole career, but because he kept putting those sessions in, then he probably got $10 million from the two McGregor fights at the end, just now.
Yeah.
The most two recent ones. And then he's got the hot sauce. That's probably made him a little bit of money for sure. And then he's got sponsorship money. I'm sure he's doing okay right now. So it's like, that was from the 10,000 something sessions. Now, he wasn't as successful as McGregor, but it's still massive payoff per session. So then it's like, whatever you do, if you just stick to it, it's inevitable you're going to get payoff. I don't think there's a single person ever who's posted that many YouTube videos who's not blown up. I don't think it's possible. And people always say to me, how did you build a Twitter following? It's because I've done 30,000 tweets.
Yeah.
Like, that's so many. I've never seen someone do as many.
30K.
Yeah. Because for the last 2 years, the reason why I chose Twitter over YouTube is because I was busy with other things.
Yeah.
But then with Twitter, it's like I could be posting it while I'm driving, when I'm waiting for food in a restaurant, in an Uber. You see me even today in a restaurant. Like, whereas YouTube, like, you actually have to sit down and
plan it. Yeah.
It's an actual thing.
Yeah.
Twitter's not really.
I think, I mean, there was a question here. So
I'll ask you that question if you want.
What?
The genetic thing. Like, do you think motivation is a genetic thing, or someone has it on their own? Or
oh, right, okay, yeah.
I'm going to ask you that. Yeah.
I just lost my train of thought for a moment, but I don't know. Like, I've done coaching for so many years, and I've realised that some people you just can't make the decision for them. And I've tried every trick in the book, psychological trick. I've taken the soft approach, I've taken the tough approach, and some people just haven't got it. I've had lads say to me, okay, so I've just been in the doctors, and the doctors said that I've got fatty liver syndrome, or I've got this, or I've got type 2 diabetes and my leg's going to get chopped off. I've got 2 kids, or I've got 3 kids, but I struggle with motivation. I'm like, you've just told me all of the reasons why you should be motivated. What am I going to do for you? How am I going to fix your motivation problems when you're just being told you're going to die? You're going to die and you've got 3 kids, 2 kids.
To be honest, I don't even know how worthwhile it is talking about this, because I just feel like if people are watching this podcast up until this point anyway, they're probably, especially my followers, your followers, what niche are they? More fitness. No, then they definitely care about.
Yeah, it's in between fitness and fighting anyway.
So anyone who's watching this kind of self-improvement content, I don't think they need motivation enough to I'm sure they're going to go to the gym to save their life.
Yeah, there still is a few, because I do get the DMs, but I know that that doesn't represent the majority, of course. But
I just think you have to stick to that do more, think less mindset and just start turning the wheels. It's like if you're pushing a ball down a hill, like a big snowball, or whatever that analogy is. It's like eventually the momentum just becomes so strong. It's like if you're pushing anything, it just takes time to get going, and then the momentum happens. So it's like...
Yeah, sorry, go on, keep going. Yeah.
I was just going to say, when I'm saying do more, think less, you know what? I actually have a quote in my room, like a little canvas. One of the guys from my network bought me this because he knows it's one of my favorite quotes. It's basically Warren Buffett says, don't look for the perfect move, just try to make a good move. So everyone knows Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world. The reason why I like this quote so much is because it's kind of similar to the mindset of do more, think less. Yeah. I don't care about the perfect move. Do I think this is right now the best use of our time? When you actually think about it, it's impossible for this podcast right now to be the best use of our time, because there's 8 billion people in this world. There's literally zillions of combinations of things we could be doing. With those 8 billion people, there's so many different things we could be doing with those people, whether it's a podcast, fighting them, training with them, speaking to them, so many different things, right?
Yeah.
So then it's is this out the zillion things we could do in this world, is this the number one thing? Obviously not. You're never doing the world's best perfect move, but you're going to be absolutely in a state of... You're just going to be frozen, just thinking what's the best move. So I just like to think, just do something that's good. I don't see how this is going to harm either of us. No. It's only going to help us. Yeah. It's only going to be good for you guys as well. Yeah. That's a good move. Put that in the bank. Next move. Reveals itself.
So, I remember what I was going to say, and that's perfect. So it's like compounding actions. Yeah. It's like small little steps that add up to the grand scheme and the bigger picture, long term. So what you say there is, what was it? Think less, do more. Even I've noticed that as well. Since I had this long COVID crap, I developed a little bit of health anxiety, and I hate saying it because it makes me feel weak. Right. And I know that I'm mentally strong, but every now and then I'll get a little symptom and I get a bit anxious. But the only thing that really combats that, should I say, the only time I ever get it is when I'm doing nothing. I said, it's funny how that works. And any time that you speak to someone with depression or anxiety, and I know this is a controversial topic, they usually, you look at the life and you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
I'll be depressed.
Yeah.
I'll be depressed.
Yeah, and it's dead controversial to say. And I had a client, and he worked in the mental health sector, very high up. And I asked him, I said, what's your opinion on depression? And this is someone who works with bipolar people, clinically depressed. And he went, to be honest, it doesn't exist. I was like, really? And I felt a little bit I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, because usually when you ask them, if there's 3 areas of your life that you could improve, what would they be? They've all got an answer. And it's always money, I'm out of shape,
relationships. Health, wealth, relationships. Everyone knows the big 3, the trifecta. Yeah. But that's the thing. It's I literally feel depression hitting my brain and my soul and my body when I'm doing nothing. Sometimes for a second, if I literally don't do anything for even a minute and a half, I do start getting fuck, what am I doing in my life? I'm a loser. And I'm a not to flex, but I'm a multi-millionaire doing very well, and I'm happy with where I'm at. But I feel like I'm a fucking loser if I've not done anything for a minute.
Yeah. So I'm exactly.
I'm not saying don't spend time with your family. Let's say right now you're spending time with your kid. That is doing something. I'm saying doing something. If you're spending time with your kid, you're actively sitting there thinking, okay, I want to spend time with my family. Yeah. But I'm saying you know those moments where you're doing nothing. You're just scrolling and you're kind of just what am I doing? That's depression right there in a nutshell.
Yeah. So that brings me on to a point, work-life balance. I believe I learned on a mentorship program years ago was we've got these 6 human needs. Have you heard of them? Tony Robbins talks about them. See if I can remember them all now. It's certainty, variety, significance, love and connection, growth and significance. Everything that we strive for in life is to balance and fulfill these 6 human needs. The problem is, though, is that if you want to achieve greatness in any of these areas, you've got to imagine it as a 6-way seesaw almost, and you're constantly trying to balance. If I want to be really successful in business, guess what's going to happen? That it's going to tip, like the financial side of things, which is going to come under the certainty human needs. So if I want to be super rich, why? Well, because I want freedom. Why? Because I want to be super certain and safe and secure within my family. So it's like, okay, well, the certainty lever or the certainty part of the seesaw is going to tip massively. Guess what else is going to happen? All the love and connection is going to be out of balance. The significance is going to be out of balance because maybe you don't feel significant in other areas of your life. Maybe the variety aspect. So what happens when you have too much certainty in your life? Usually you're lacking variety. What happens when you have too much variety in your life? You're lacking certainty because you're doing too much. So, and I think this is what most people don't understand. I always look at personal trainers or people in business, and anytime they talk about work-life balance, usually they're not where they want to be, or they're financially unstable, and they use that as an excuse. Oh, well, work-life balance. But it's like, no, I believe in work-life unbalance, depending on what you want to achieve. If your relationship is a mess, so the love and connection side of the equation, then guess what's going to happen? Your businesses and the certainty and the variety is going to have to take a back seat. Because you're going to have to put disproportionate energy and time into the love and connection, into the relationship. So this whole idea of trying to have a balanced life, that's for people who don't really want to, let's say, achieve anything out of the ordinary. I'm trying to say that in a politically correct manner. But and that's fine as well. That is completely fine. Yeah. But if you're one of these people who sent me some questions on Instagram and I see you saying you want to be an entrepreneur and you're starting a business, just understand that business is going to take a disproportionate amount of time and there will have to be sacrifices. I'm fed up of the world telling people that you don't need to make sacrifices. You can have it all. You've got the women's magazines telling women they can have it all. You can't. You have to pick and then try your best with what you've got. What's your opinion on balance?
It's completely what you said, really.
Okay.
Completely what you said. It's just crazy when people say things to me like, bro, how do you manage everything in your life and all these things? And it's like, well, yeah, maybe some areas of your life will suffer, but then it's just that's just the sacrifice you make. Or I post pictures of me drinking Red Bull on Twitter. Yeah. And I exaggerate how many Red Bulls I have. A lot of time in my Telegram channel, I tell, even on Twitter, sometimes I tell people, I don't actually have that much Red Bull.
Okay.
I'll have I used to have a couple cans of energy drink a day. Then it's probably now on average, maximum one a day, average. Because today I've not had one so far. Right? It's about 0.75 a day. 3/4 of a fucking can per day. That's not much at all. Now someone will say, okay, it's unhealthy. I'm like, okay, but getting rich isn't healthy.
It's not.
Because it's stressful. But nothing is healthy. And it's when I buy cars, people are they're going to depreciate. And I always say, I'm depreciating. I'm going to die one day. There's no right answer. You just have to pick your poison.
Yeah.
And that's just how I live my life. You have to pick your poison. At the end of the day, if that one little Red Bull gives me way more power, way more energy to just make millions and millions and millions a year, I'm going to take that trade.
Yeah.
Because that's just the reality. And most people at the top of every industry, they're actually taking proper stimulants and drugs and
even steroids. Actors taking steroids, but at least they're getting paid 50 million. So it's okay, they might take 5 years off the life, but they got 50 million for it. Some people are happy with that trade.
Exactly. And if you're not, then don't make that trade.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
So I think it's completely that. It's the seesaw thing you were just saying. And it's most people who get into entrepreneurship and they want to make millions as well, they might not give a fuck about certain aspects that other people do. For example, I have a friend who I tried to help make money. And he's like, bro, I just bought a puppy. I got to walk the puppy and all this stuff. Or the dog or whatever now. It's it takes a few hours a day. I was like, how many hours? No, I said this to him. I was like, how many hours a day does it take to walk the dog, bathe the dog, feed it, everything? He's like, I can't even believe I'm saying this number out loud. It sounds ridiculous. It was 4 hours. I was like, what? It's something ridiculous because it's just something ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was like, what the actual fuck is going on? But let's just say it was 3 because I don't even want to say 4. That makes me just get angry.
Is he fat and walking too slow? Maybe he needs.
No, he's very physically fit. That's what's surprising. So 3 hours of walking your dog. It's and he's got a 9-to-5 job. That's 11 hours already. And then you're sleeping 8. That's 19 hours. Eat a bit of time with family. A bit of time just being a normal human. Yeah. You've got no time for business. You can't be spending 3 hours walking your dog and feeding the dog and bathing the dog and. You just haven't got the fucking time. So when it comes to the whole balance point, I don't give a fuck about walking a dog. I don't have a dog.
Yeah.
So it's I prioritize money over having a pet.
Yeah.
I prioritize money over learning a language. I'm sick of these people choosing to learn languages all the time. They're I have to learn language so when I go to China I can speak with the locals. It's bro,
use Google Translate.
Shut up. You don't need to speak to the locals. Just give them money and tip them and give $100 to the taxi man and you'll get to where you want to get to fine. it's better to be a millionaire and just speak English than to be a dickhead speaking half-broken Chinese, Mandarin, Arabic, French, Italian, and have 10 grand in it.
Yeah. So a part of it's not making the stupid decision in the first place. I've always been. I love dogs. I grew up with dogs.
Yeah. By the way, I love dogs as well.
Yeah.
I love dogs.
And I had 2 boxer dogs, but then after it, I was like, I was broken by losing them. But then I'm like, I'm trying to build my business here. I'm not going to have time to have a dog. Like what? I've got to walk them. It's not fair on the dog. I'm just using dog as the example here. But it's like, okay, let me reverse engineer this. We're talking a lot about reverse engineering today. If I have a dog, I will have to do X, Y, and Z. Therefore, I won't be able to do this with my business. Therefore, I will make less money. Okay, let's not get a dog. But some people, and a dog or whatever it is, some people will make the silly decision and then be like, Hassan, how do I deal with me silly decision?
If I told you right now, you have a dog, and it's only going to bring you positives, but you don't have to look after it. It's completely my responsibility. You'd be like, yeah, having a dog is great.
Yeah.
But just like everything in life, there's always the trade-off. If I want to have a dog, I have to also look after it.
Yes.
Right? Or my girlfriend can look after it, whatever. But someone has to look after it close to me. Okay, if I have a kid right now, there's responsibility. If I want to be a fighter and spend 3 hours a day training, then I lose those 3 hours. Everything's a trade-off. Yeah. I remember Tate always used the example with the ballet dancers. Like, someone told me I could be the best ice skater dancer, ice skate, ring, whatever they're called.
Ice rink.
Figure skater. I could be the best figure skater and just clip my fingers, I'll do it. Same as me, I would. But it's like, I don't want to fucking train to be a figure skater. Why the fuck would I care?
Yeah.
But if someone said I'm the best in the world, I'll take it.
Yeah.
If you could say I'm the best wrestler in the world right now, I'll take it. But do I want to train 4 hours a day against people like Khabib right now and I could just make more money? Like, personally, I don't know.
Yeah.
So then it's like, you have to just make your trade-offs. And you guys right now, you know what, this is a crazy thing I'm about to say. I only thought about it today in the car. So, get your calculator out if you can, bro.
Yeah, go on,
Type in 50 years left. So you're 35. Let's say you have 50 years left on the planet. It could be a lot less.
50.
Yeah. So I'm saying, let's say I'm 24, I have 50 years left.
Yeah.
50 years times, do the... Times 8, 7, 60, because that was how many hours there are in a year.
8, 7.
60.
60, yeah.
Now, times that by 0.66 to know how many waking hours we have.
Times by, 0.66. Okay, yeah.
6666.
So
all right, we have 289,000 waking hours left on this planet. That's if you have 50 years.
Yeah.
If you have half the years, then you have half that time.
Yeah.
Right, so let's say I'm alive for 50 more years. I've got 290,000 hours, right? And then it's like, okay, they say it takes 10,000 hours to become a pro at anything, right?
Yeah, okay.
So when you think about it, 289,000 hours doesn't seem like that long. You'd agree.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I have 290,000 hours. Let's round that up to 300,000. I have 300,000 hours. If I spend 10,000, which is a very small percentage, like 3%.
Yeah.
If I spend 3% of my total hours left on this planet, I can become a master at making money. Now, if I say playing the violin, that's still cool, but it's the violin, whatever. But if I say I put 10,000 hours into making money and then I do it quickly, then I'm going to become a multi-millionaire very, very quickly. Because I believe if someone puts 10,000 hours into business and really applies themselves, they'll become a multi-millionaire within those 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
So then it's like, you can become a multi-millionaire within a very short space of time, and now you've got the rest of these 290,000 hours to enjoy your money. But if you spend those next 10,000 hours, 20,000 hours learning half-broken French, half-broken Italian, now time seems like it's going very quickly.
Yeah.
But if you're really using your time, you're doing more, thinking less, working on the important things, you're almost like freezing time. I like to say it like that. Like, you can literally alter how quickly time goes depending on how intensely you're focusing on certain tasks. Robert Greene talks about this a lot in his book called Mastery. So he's just saying anyone can become a master if they put 10,000 hours into anything, and it's super, super true. You can literally alter how quickly time goes depending on how you use your hours.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. If you want to become an MMA fighter, to put 10,000 hours is hard because it takes years and years because you can only train X number of hours a day. Yeah. But with making money, you can sit there like a robot for 12 hours a day. So you can become a master at making money very quickly.
Sacrifice the sleep. I think a lot of people know this, though. They just don't do it. Gary Vaynerchuk obviously popularised this, saying, listen, you do your 9 to 5, and then you go home, you spend an hour with your wife or whatever, and watch a little bit of telly, have your tea, and then you do your 6 till 2, and then have less sleep. Just sacrifice it. The amount of times I've been up till 2 a.m. sitting there. I remember when I was getting high, and I was just smoking weed all the time. I was a very high-level operator weed smoker. And I would sit there and I'd be writing emails and it'd be like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and I'd still be doing the work. So I don't know, maybe it ties back into motivation, the fact that some people like...
But what gave you this drive? How are you as a person so driven?
I don't know. Me and Francis were having a good conversation before saying like maybe parenting has a lot to do with it.
I think so.
You know, my mum and dad never really had a lot like they started doing a little bit better. They had a wedding business towards the back end of the marriage. And then
wedding business?
Yeah, just like their own, like they had a few wedding cars.
Their weddings?
Yeah, so they had the wedding cars for the wedding. So, when like a Rolls Royce.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Mercedes. And they were doing good because they were in the yellow pages. This is before social media, yellow pages.
Can I just say something about yellow pages?
Yeah.
So every business is just having a product or a service and then having people buy it. Yeah. But people seem to forget this. You're talking about like, to you aspiring entrepreneurs, if you want to make money. Guys, all you have to understand is business is just a product or a service and then getting the traffic. Nowadays, you can get traffic with social media. But back in the day, it's like you stick your phone number everywhere, yellow pages, whatever. It's just all about having a product, having people buy it. That's it.
Yeah.
So I'd add that in because people overcomplicate what business is, man.
Oh, I know. And I deal with this like with people who've been working like as a self-employed business owner for like 8 to 10 years. I'm like, oh, it's simple. Just get people to see your content and convert them. I know obviously there's intricacies to it, but and I think like after they divorced, I'm not going too personal or soppy with it, but like a lot of the focus went to my sister because she was a lot younger, so she needed a lot more attention, and I was kind of just left to it a little bit. But I like that. Yeah. I like isolation. I like my own time. I love having a family and stuff, but I kind of want to be left alone half of the time.
I think all ambitious men do.
Yeah,
we're all like that. Yeah, we love our family, but we want that time.
I think it's just because you can get focused. I think one thing I've learned the last, let's say 8 years, it's been really prevalent, is the importance of long, focused, uninterrupted periods. You cannot, people talk about multitasking, it's a load of bullshit. If you're doing a little bit of this, then a bit of that, a little bit, sometimes you just need to get one big task done, then move on to the next big task. If I'm trying to set up an advertising campaign and I'm doing a little bit of it, then go on and washing the dishes, and then going back and doing a little bit of it, and then mopping the floor, which I know some people who do that, and they're under the thumb. Like, I'm not going to get anything done. So I just need to say, leave me alone. I'll see you in 10 hours. And guess what? Our lives will be that much further pushed forward. But if I'm just doing little farty bits all the time, it's a waste of time. But yeah, back to the point of like how I think because I was left to it a little bit, and like my sister got a lot of the attention, and then also we never really got much as well. We never really, like, I was never given much as a kid. We were always okay. We never really badly struggled, or at least my parents didn't show that. But I think that always gave me the hunger. I always had ambition to, well, I'm gonna do this one day. I'm gonna have loads of money one day. I'm gonna have nice cars one day. And I think that just always stayed. And then I do get bored easy as well. And I know it's the entrepreneurial curse of like, you've got to control that boredom. Because if you're constantly chasing the excitement or the variety, what happens? The certainty, which is what we need for the financial aspect, gets knocked out of whack. So I've got to control that boredom and stay focused. That's a big thing I've learned on the entrepreneurial journey.
People don't realize how much you have to just sit there sometimes and not talk.
It's boring.
It's boring. This time last year, I wouldn't leave the house. Like, people don't realize I wouldn't leave the house. This time last year, January 2023, I didn't leave the house. Yeah. Like, I think my brother left the house once in the month. I left the house maybe 4 times, met a couple of guys from my group. And like, let's say I had one girl I was seeing at the time, she was like coming around, whatever. But like, I wouldn't even spend much time with her. It's just very much like, here and there.
That's what I've been like this year as well. Like,
you've got to just sit there.
Yeah.
And I actually built, and then that month, January 2023, I grew my following on Twitter by like 15,000 followers, 500 a day. I was making lots of progress. I was setting up lots of things in my network and building my relationship with people like Craig. And now he's living together. We have the e-com store. So I was like proper just hustling, just building everything, and paid off.
Yeah, you guys
need those months to set you up for life.
Yeah, you guys are going to see all like the outcome of the success, but like you're not seeing the work that Hassan's putting in. And I obviously understand to a certain extent, like, but obviously within different sectors. But there's obviously a lot of crossover. But I think a lot of the reason why people can't handle entrepreneurship is because it is a lonely road. It's a lonely road. Your friends won't understand. Your parents won't understand. My parents love me and that, but like, I never get asked, "Hey, Sean, how's the gym going? How's this going?" Like, it's very rare, and I know that they love me, but they just want me to be okay. But they don't care about the
You got both your parents still alive?
The what, sorry?
You got both your parents alive?
Yeah. My grandparents have passed away now, but like at the end of the day, like, and mates as well, often, like, I'll only have a couple mates who will ever really ask, but which is fine because we're on different paths and different journeys. They're going down this road, I'm going down this road, so it's only natural that they won't understand the perspective. So it's like learning to not expect anything. Not to have false expectations on people that you shouldn't have. But I think I've just always been ambitious and always wanted more. And I've never wanted anyone to have, I think for me, the main driver is I don't want anyone to ever have control over me.
Yeah.
Maybe it stems back from when I was a kid in school, you know, you get bullied a little bit and then I'd have fights and stuff. And it's like, maybe it's like to get that control back. But I know that I've got it. So for me, it's about extreme leverage. Obviously, that's something you've got. You don't have a boss. You don't have someone.
Yeah, you know, you're just talking with the seesaw point.
Yeah.
So, for example, like me, I'm happy for everything to get fucked in terms of that seesaw, as long as my freedom seesaw is good.
Okay.
So for me, freedom was always that thing. Like, I really don't like being told what to do.
Yeah.
So it's like more than, I think, definitely 99.9. Yeah. So that's what's pushed me so much in terms of the whole motivation. But it's not like I sit there and think, I really want my freedom. I'm just out there like, it's just natural to chase that. Like, I was always just like a rebel in school. I was always the kid in class who was like the cheeky class clown, talking back to the teachers. That's just my personality. So I always just naturally seeked after that. And it's funny when you're just saying like the whole entrepreneurship is lonely, because it is, but like I just never even, like almost just didn't think about that. Because when you're in the fire, you're just busy. You don't, it's not as bad. Like once you get started, all your anxiety will go away. You just have to get started, boys. And I promise you, if you just get started, everything will get better. And that's also why I actually created my network. So I created my network 2 years ago in September, October 2021. I was in Miami.
Okay.
And I just got to a point where I was like, I'm sick of this. I kept traveling to different places. So at the time, I was making money with my sales team, Boilers.
The Boilers,
And I was just sat there. I was like, sick of it. I was like, I keep going to all these different countries and places. And I'm saying hi to someone, then goodbye, hi, goodbye, hi, bye, hi, bye. It's like, this is such a fleeting life. Meeting this girl, saying bye to her. Meeting this guy, saying bye to him. He was my new gym buddy, now he's gone. This girl, she's gone now. This owner of this restaurant, he's gone. I just built this. Like, everything was just fleeting. I was like, this is bullshit. So I want to have my own network, which I'm in control of. And I can just, people who resonate with my worldview, they join. And when I go to Mexico City, I know there's now these 4 people here. In Miami, there's these 12 people here. London, there's these 150 people. Here in Dubai, there's 50. Here in... And I was like, that's what I want. So that's why I created the group, and now it's turned into be exactly that and more, much more. So
yeah, you're smashing it.
You've got to create what you... Like, you can create your masterpiece in real life.
Yeah. When I say like lonely, but like ultimately, it's only lonely within like the like your average circles and social circles that you've already got. But there's a lot of people out there like yourself, like me, who are involved in business, and you all have the same mindset. It's just about trying to create the connections with those people. This is actually a really good segue onto a few of the questions that I've got.
You're good at this, by the way. Boys, he's good at this.
Good at what?
Like asking the questions, because I know the questions that have been sent to you and the points that you had that Francis even helped us come up with from this as well, from the Q&A, and the way you transition them are good.
Okay, decent. Make sure you like the video for that. Come on, give us a like.
Likes boost the algorithm?
I think they do.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a myth or not, but...
So I thought it was just watch time, apparently. I'm not sure.
I think watch time is the main factor, but yeah, maybe likes do. But
like, comment, subscribe, comment.
Or just watch to the end of the video. That's even better. Okay, so advice to a 16-year-old wanting to make money. Like, what's your general advice to that?
Whether 16 or 18, I'm going to say 18 because I can visualize it a bit better.
Yeah.
18-year-old, I'd say, get a daughter. Okay, let me think actually. The reason why I want to think is because there's 2 roads I can go down. Okay. There's the road of book a plane ticket, go to Bali or Thailand and move in together with a couple other people you find online, whether it's in the same kind of community as Twitter or through an online community, and then just kind of start some kind of online business, whether it's a short form agency, whether it's you just spend 10 hours a day sat there in your cheap villa in Thailand, just editing videos, mastering editing videos, then outreaching to people like yourself. Because I'm telling you, man, if you spend 10 hours a day mastering videos, like we said about the 10,000 hour rule, before you know it, you're the best video editor there is around. And then you can easily get someone like yourself as a client, you'll be able to pay them well and all this stuff. But the second route, the route I'd probably say is stay in your home country, England, America, Canada, wherever. Get a door-to-door sales job, something on commission, a sales job because it's going to teach you valuable skills and it's variable income. You can make more if you work harder. And then get a fixed thing like Uber, right, where it's guaranteed income. Every week I have this fixed income. So you have variable income and fixed income. You can use the fixed income to pay your bills, and then the variable income, you can just throw it into mentorships, like you said. Boys, he told me at lunch, because I thought I'd spend a lot of money on mentorships. He spent $160,000.
Yeah, £160,000. So probably what's that? $200,000.
So you spent $200,000 in the past 16 years.
No, it'd be 8 years, 10 years.
Wow, 10 years, so 20,000 American a year on mentorships and coaching. So I'd say, and then you take the variable income and then you invest it in yourself, whether you're joining an online community, whether you're buying Sean's fitness programs, getting in better shape, because then if you're in better shape, then you're going to have a different kind of aura around you. People will take you more seriously. The whole stuff, just invest something into yourself, right? Because you cannot, I always say entrepreneurship is resource management. You're either learning how to invest your money, time, energy, Like, it's all resources.
Yeah, and like, yeah, so I mean, obviously, if you're joining something like Hassan's program, like if you've got the money to do so, that's great. But then also, like, and then you hear me, oh, spent 160 grand, but my first mentor was £500 a month. And it's a funny, interesting story. Then we'll circle back. I had £550 in my account.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'd lost 11 clients in a 6-week period. I was like, what the hell is going on? It was just like clients were moving away, and some people were just coming to the end of the terms and didn't want to stay on. And it was just like it was just a bad time. 11 clients. I was like, shit. My missus was like, we need to save for the house. And she was looking at the Red Row houses, which were the nice houses in Liverpool, like 300 grand. I was like, no, I'm 24 years old. I've got no money. I think I was a bit younger. And a mentor had cold DM'd me actually on Facebook. This is years ago. Saying, hey, I help personal trainers grow. And I actually just reached back out to him and said, I've just lost loads of my clients. I need help. Got on the phone with him, chatted. He said, you make an extra 4 grand in the next 4 weeks, 4K in 4 weeks. It's £500 every 28 days it was. So I was like, I looked at my bank account, I had 550. And I still had bills coming out. Like my car bills, my rent for the gym that I was paying. So I didn't have it easy. And I went, yeah, go on then. And I sent him the 500. Guess what? My missus had an argument with me on the phone. Oh, we're meant to be saving for the house, blah, blah, blah. I was like, you don't understand. I'm investing this because I've just lost all my clients. Anyway, I made an extra on his mentorship, made an extra 3,800 in the next 4 weeks. So it was just 200 shy, but it opened up my perspective. Wow, I've just invested, and I really wasn't in a great place to do so. But I was focused on the ROI, the return. Most people just focus on the cost instead of what am I going to get from this? Like, look, you can spend 12 hours of your time, as Hassan said, just be resourceful. You don't have to be like me and invest all this money or even invest in Hassan's program if you haven't got the money. Like, use YouTube for a bit, make a little bit of money so then you can get a mentor, or as Hassan said, go and drive Uber so then you can save money.
That's why it's so important.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to work the jobs, because I know some people, even people like who join my network, the first couple of days they message me like, bro, so what would you recommend me do? I've just joined your money, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you're in America. Like, why aren't you working a job? Because I had one guy who joined my group. Special shout out to him. His name is Jackson. Now, he was 16. Okay, he literally had just enough money to get into the group. Okay. And I was like, join the group today, basically. And he was like, bro, I'm going to save up for a car. I'm not sure if I can join today. I was like, look, I was on the phone with you for 5 minutes early. So either join today or you're never going to join. Because when I put my time on it, I gave him the ultimatum, right? It's how I sell.
The agency.
Hard sell, right? He trusted me. First month, true story, 11 grand his first month, because he was doing window cleaning in America, door to door. In America, everyone knows America is the half the world's millionaires in America. You can print money in America. Window cleaning. He's still doing window cleaning to this day. This was April 2023.
Yeah.
7-8 months ago. 11 grand in his first month.
Yeah.
Like, his first month. So the point I'm trying to make is if you live in America, England, Canada, Australia, all these kind of Western countries, you want to be having a job because then you can invest in these kind of things like Sean was just saying. And also, it's like, I remember I had a few £100 left to my name and I actually went to go see Andrew Tate. This was back in 2020 before he became really famous.
Okay.
And I went, so when I heard of this opportunity to basically go watch his kickboxing fight, I was like, okay, I can meet him and a couple of the other Romanian boys I wanted to go see at the time. Yeah. It's like, I can learn something here.
Was it the infusion one, was it?
I don't know.
Was it his last fight?
You would have seen the fight somewhere on the highlights.
Yeah,
I can show you after.
So. Okay.
But anyway, I was like, I'm going to go. Then I was like, fuck, there's no tickets to get there on time to Romania. So without even asking my friend who lives in Bulgaria, I just booked a ticket to Bulgaria and trusted, because I had a friend from university who lives in Bulgaria. Okay. Sofia, Bulgaria, the capital. I just trusted the fact that he would be able to drive me from Bulgaria to Romania. So I booked the ticket. When he woke up, I was like, yo, you have to drive me from Bulgaria to Romania because I've already booked the ticket. Got to Bulgaria, he drove me. We ended up missing the fight. Tate's fight by about 15 minutes, 12 minutes, around that. So I missed the fight, didn't get to see any of it. But the point is I spoke to Tate for what? Literally not long at all, maybe 10 seconds.
Right.
But I saw other guys there who I also wanted to meet. Again, Tate was busy, but I spoke to the other guys there. They taught me a lot. I got a lot of value out of them. And then I ended up living with one of the guys that I met there, the Romanian boys, like a year later for like 2 weeks. Okay. And he's like 5-6 years older. So when I was like 20, he's like 27 or whatever he was, 26. I learned so much from him. He's like an older brother almost.
Right.
And then that helped me a lot in business. And now it's interesting how the world works and how like things just always come back to you. It's like now, because I'm doing so well in business, he asks me for business advice. And I was just getting like more general life advice from him. I help him with sales and marketing. So it's kind of interesting how things just go full circle. But yeah, my mindset was, I only have £400 to my name. I'm doing this door-to-door sales job anyway. Might as well just take 2-3 days off door-to-door sales, go to Bulgaria and Romania, and then I'll travel to 2 new countries, have a new experience.
Yeah.
It's the best time ever.
Right, okay, yeah. So
you just got to invest. You got to risk it.
Yeah, and another little point on that as well. I was gonna. No, yeah. I had a little.
I was just gonna say, what you remember.
Well, sorry, no, I had a little nugget and then I forgot it. But I was just gonna say on this point of how to make money online. At the end of the day, it's just about skills, isn't it? It's like if you have anything that you're particularly interested in. So for me, it's like what are my skills that I've always had? Well, fighting. I always liked fitness. I used to make my own fight scenes back. I had to get all my friends and my cousins, and I'd make fight scenes and film them on a camera, and then I'd edit them, and I'd edit music to different videos that I created when I was younger. So it was all video, and then I'd make music, and then fitness, fighting. So all these are like my main skills, and it's like, what have I done? I've just monetized those skills because they were my passions. Cool. So it's like, okay, do you have any passions? Okay, is there any way that you can monetize those passions? If not, that's okay. Video editing. Because like
there's loads. Video editing, days. Web design, YouTube thumbnail,
copywriting,
translating, email marketing.
Yeah.
You could even like run someone's Discord server. So like nowadays, there's lots of people with Discord servers. There are 5,000 people in the Discord server. They're more interested in getting more clients into the Discord server. You can run the Discord server. They pay you 5% of the overall revenue, 10%. You could be the main guy who runs everything. So you take a lot of pressure off their mind. I know lots of people, like, that's the thing. When you have a big network, you get exposed to all these money-making ideas as well. It's like there's people doing AI stuff, bro. They sell it, like they create software because they know how to code. They create a software where it basically like creates loads of clips from your content. So what you do is you put a big YouTube video, let's say one of your 1-hour videos, you put it into this AI software and it gives you like 100 short form clips from that one podcast.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
with the subtitles and everything. So if you're the guy who makes that software, you can then sell that software to people, and then there's so many things you can do to make money.
It is the thing though as well, like if you do choose one of these routes, give free value first. So like I've had people DM me and like, hi, I can do a thumbnail for you, or hi, I can edit your videos. It's like, okay, but I'd be much more likely to hire you if maybe you just done a quick edit of my video and said, hey, Sean, send us a raw file, show me what you can do first, because like you need to give that free value, because you don't understand. Hassan, you probably get loads of DMs like this, I can do this for you, I can do this for you, but can I have a minute of your time? You don't understand how valuable that is. It's like, even for me, and I'm not on Hassan's level, but it's like, why am I going to jump on a guy who I don't know? You've got 2 followers on Instagram and no social proof and no portfolio. That was a good little right on that.
Nearly gone.
Like send me something free. Show me what you can do first.
My current YouTube editor, one of them actually, his name is Elijah. So he's in my network and he outreached me 100 days in a row. Now some people might be like, Hassan, that's too crazy. But now I've hired him and he's working $500 a week for UPS in America, right? Okay. Delivery. Bullshit. Very, very soon he's going to be able to quit that job because he's going to make enough videos for me, help me enough that I can easily pay him more than $500. So the point I'm trying to make is, a lot of people, normal people, might be like 100 days in a row before you gave him the chance. I look at that and think, he just invested a small little 3 months to now get financial freedom and quit his job. Yeah. And also, you might be like, yeah, but you could have easily said, no, it's risky. Well, no, because he could have been doing the exact same thing for 6 people. And one of the 6 will definitely say yes.
Yeah.
So it's not risky.
Yeah.
And it's 3 months of work. So he put 100 days of outreach into, trying to basically get a job, you could argue. But it's not even risky. That's like we were saying about the work. If you work backwards and say, okay, if I do, there's actually a saying, it's like, think of what it would take to get like an unreasonable no, or something along those lines, I'm paraphrasing. It's like, if you made 1,000 videos for 1,000 days in a row, it'd be unreasonable to think you can't hit 500,000 subscribers. It'd be unreasonable to think that. So then it's like, okay, reverse engineer, work backwards. You just need to make 1,000 videos in a row.
Yes.
And then do that, and you'll probably be much, much further ahead.
Right, I love that, because that's what Alex Hormozy says as well. And I started my I started my YouTube channel this year. It is a good bit of advice for you, right? So let's say you choose the area that you want to go into. This is the mindset that you want to have. Like, so I knew, okay, YouTube, that's where I'm going to build my personal brand. Okay, cool. Like, I said to myself, I'm going to upload a video every single day. And if I get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be fantastic.
10,000?
Yeah, that's what I expected.
How's your goal for the end of 2023?
Yeah, I said it on the staff night out that we had last December, so December 2022. I was speaking to my cousin. I said, yeah, I'm going to upload daily, and I'm going to try and get to 10,000. And then it was 10x that. But here's the thing, and this is another thing Alex Hormozy said, is you have your goal. It's like, it could be a financial goal of like, right, I want to make 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month. I want to do this. I want to network with these people. But instead of just focusing on the goal, same with weight loss. Oh, I want to lose like 50 kilos. It's a big, grand, mountainous goal that almost seems insurmountable and impossible. Instead, reverse engineer it and go, okay, so I want to be Hassan's video editor. What's the 3 things that I need to do on a daily basis that's going to take me closer towards that goal? And if I do those things on a daily basis for the next 100 days or 365 days, it'd be unreasonable to think that it wouldn't be further than I am now. Okay, well, maybe I need to send Hassan a DM daily. But you know, maybe I need to create a piece of content like as well.
You know what it is? Because I think a lot of people at home, bro, might be like, yeah, but then it's like, I put all this time into it, but then I still want to wait.
Yeah.
But what I want to say to you boys is that this guy called Elijah, who was outreaching to me all this time, do you know what would have happened if I didn't give him the job? He would have had 3 months of practicing fucking video editing. Because what he was doing, outreaching, he wasn't saying, hey, give me a job in 100 days. He was sending me 3-4 short form videos a day of myself. So he's now mastered the short form videos. So it's like it's 100 days of practicing one skill. So forget about me. He can then take the exact same skill set and say, apply to you.
Yeah.
You know, message this person, message that person, message that person, message that person. So it's not like you're just spending 100 days of your time wasting it. You're practicing a skill that can be used for anyone.
Exactly. Now you are better at it. This is exactly what our personal trainers doing. Yeah, Hassan, right? They come into the gym, they've got no clients, and they'll go, right, okay, I'm charging £30 a session. I'm like, okay, how many followers you got? Whatever, 100 or 200 followers. Okay, we'll put that out on Instagram then and see how you get on. Because I say to them, you need to do free sessions. No, I'm not doing free sessions. No, I'm not training for free. I'm like, okay, all right. Ignore me, 160 grand. I don't know what I'm talking about. And then they can't get any clients. And I'm like, train people for free. They start training people for free, and the people with the right mindset will see it as exactly that. I'm getting work experience. Now, guess what? I've got loads of footage of me clients training, social proof.
And the next person on Instagram will think they've paid you.
Exactly.
So you just got more content.
You've got selfies with your clients like that. Oh, well done to John's, just lost 10 pounds this week. Then you get them, you can do it. So this is for the personal trainers out there, but you can do this with any business. Then you get a video testimonial at the end of the 28 days or 6 weeks. Hi, my name's John. I've been training with Sean for the last 6 weeks. Oh, I loved it. He made me feel so comfortable at the gym. If you're on the fence, you just make that commitment. Honestly, it'll be the best thing you'd ever do. And then next thing, you've got loads of clients. And even if those clients don't stay on and you've wasted 4-6 weeks, like you're saying, then at least you've got marketing material, content. You've got 10 video testimonials, and you've got the experience. You're in the gym floor. You're around the community. You're mingled in with the other PTs. Stop looking at it as like, oh, but
it's not free work. You're just being paid later. That's it. It's not free work. There's nothing that's free in life. There's nothing that is free. It's like you shouldn't try and get things for free. You shouldn't try and look at the things you're doing for others as free. There's nothing free. There's always some hidden cost attached to it in general in life. So it's like we're making this video for free.
Yeah.
It's free to watch, but we're not doing it for free. We're not doing this if there was zero potential dollars attached to this video.
Of course.
Why would you?
Yeah.
So then it's like, there is some form of benefit attached to this video. So there's nothing that's free. So when you're doing that personal training, when you're doing that short form editing, when you're outreaching on email, when you're doing those IGDM outreach, whatever you're doing, you're practicing a skill set which is going to pay you millions in the future. And all you have to do is be right once. So if you know that the current thing you're doing, there's a good chance you can do it in the future, in the next 2 years. You're just building that skill set. So even if you make nothing for the next... Like, look at it this way. McGregor, he was broke at 25.
Yeah.
I think he just became a millionaire actually at 25, like 1 or 2 fights. So it's like, he was training from this age to this age. He was broke. McGregor at 23 was broke.
Sorry, I thought the spies on me.
No.
So
McGregor was broke at 23, 24. And then you just start making money at 25 or something. But then at 30, he was worth 100 million. At 29, he was worth 100 million. So what I'm saying is the trajectory was very quick because he had all that free sessions, those free sessions, that free work. It wasn't free. He was getting paid $91,000, as we were saying. Now he's a billionaire. I saw him the other day. I was in the Raffles Hotel in Dubai.
Oh, yeah.
He just sat there by the pool. Now he's making money while he's by the pool. So now him lying down by the pool, it's $91,000. So it's like...
I love that perspective.
It's just the way I view everything. There's no such thing as free. And the reason why people say that is because they're entitled and they're lazy. Man.
Yeah. Okay, so next question then. A few are the same, so I apologise if I've skipped your question, but a few of them are kind of a little bit similar.
Let's hear them.
Well, I've skipped a few, but
no.
What underrated skill or quality would you advise fellow entrepreneurs to develop?
Speaking well. I realize people don't know how to communicate. I feel like I'm a good speaker. Not just a good speaker in the sense of how I speak, in terms of, I just say like, yo, bro, I don't like you because you're doing this. Like just now, before this, when I left the room for a bit, when you and Francis were talking, I was having to go at my YouTube editor because the YouTube video was partially blocked in some countries. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, just tell people the problem straight away. Don't be passive aggressive and tell them 7 weeks later, like, yeah, by the way, and you did this wrong. And like, say it when it comes up, then they know to fix it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why is it partially blocked? Oh, because they use copyrighted music for some, I don't even know what they get.
Yeah, okay.
I have to talk to them after this video as well. But the point is, like, tell people straight up, communicate what is the issue. And women are actually pretty bad at this. Women are the ones, we were talking about this, women are the ones who think they're good at communicating and say, men can't communicate. Men are the ones who are like, what is wrong with you right now? And women are like, So women don't know how to communicate. And most men don't know how to communicate. Yep. I actually think, I don't really know anyone who's a good speaker. No one actually seems to know how to communicate nowadays. I think everyone's awful. Yeah, you're obviously good yourself. That's why you built a YouTube channel, but 99% of men are awful. They're so passive aggressive. They're so, it comes from insecurity.
I think so. Insecurity, ego. Like, I hate it when, like, because I think first impressions matter.
Yeah.
Maybe you could say this is a really good quality, especially if you're trying to make connections and all that, is first impressions really matter. I notice a lot of people, like, they'll have the guards up or they'll try and, I don't know, like try and, what's the word? Peacock, you know, almost. And it's like, rather than just being normal, just be normal. And I think it comes, as you said, comes from a sense of insecurity and ego. And it's like, they have to have this facade built up. Just be yourself. I'd say the most underrated skill or quality, I'd say authenticity. Is what you want. So it's kind of like communication a little bit, but just be yourself.
That's big, yeah.
Yeah, because I spent a lot of time trying to be someone else, because you might have heard mentors or motivational speakers say, and I interpreted this wrong, they'll say, who do you have to become in order for you to get the goals you want to achieve, or who do you have to become in order to achieve the success? I perceive that as like, well, you know, I'm a little bit silly. You know, I make music, I rap. Oh, that's childish. I do this. I've started a few YouTube videos. This is 2015. Mm-hmm. I've got some. Go back on my YouTube channel in 2015 and look how silly the videos are. They're dead stupid.
I don't know videos from them.
Yeah, but that's
what you do. What kind of videos?
They're just same as now, but talking about like the fat shaming and weight loss a bit more. Okay. But I was dead silly, so it's like I perceive it as like, okay, I'm quite silly and, you know, playful. But I need to be this professional business owner now, and I need to be all formal and this and that. And it kind of sent me through a little bit of an identity crisis, because I started becoming this and I lost the sense of who I am, rather than just being my authentic self and developing the leadership skills that are needed, and the communication skills and the sales skills and the marketing skills and so on and so forth. Stack the skills on top of your authentic self.
That's true.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I believe...
Trump says that, I think. They describe that about Trump. They say, like, Trump's not the best really at anything. But the reason why he's such a persuasive person is because he's pretty damn good at a lot of things. He's pretty damn good at speaking, actually. He speaks very simply for the masses to understand. He's pretty good at... I remember reading it once. It made a lot of sense. He was very good at lots of things, whereas he wasn't the best at one particular thing. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, you want to stack your skills. Skill sets matter, like having the whole thing. Yeah,
did you see Trump speaks, it's like a 5th grade level or something like that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and people were like skitting him for it, saying, he speaks like a child. And it's like, no, that's because people understand it better.
Bro, even on Twitter, when I write in more complex English, it gets less likes.
Of course.
When I write in very simple English, nicely spaced out, it looks pretty, I write lists, it gets way more engagement.
Yeah.
Because you always have to remember this when you're posting content on social media as well. A lot of people who watch your content, English isn't their first language, so there's that. And secondly, it's just easier to read if it looks pretty. Yeah. It's easier to read if it's simpler to understand. Yeah. It's as simple as that. What else would you say? Let's try and add 2 more skills to this each.
Okay. I'll give one. I don't know. It's a little bit vague, but this is just. I'm going off my personal experience. I think resilience. What's the cat doing? The cat in frame. I think resilience, like the ability to get punched in the face over and over and over and take those failures and not be discouraged, is a big one. And I know this might seem all woo-woo and hippie-like, but trust me, when you're deep in business and you're knocking at the doors and getting no, you got to get 39 no's to get the one yes, you can waver your confidence a little bit. So I think the ability to be resilient is important, and have that grit inside you and just get through those dark days and always know there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel, but there will only be that light if you're putting in the action and taking one step in front. You can't just sit there and wallow in your own self-pity because you haven't made a sale this week. And believe me, I've done it. So you need to get out of your own way a little bit and just trust in the process. Once again, am I doing the main 3 things that I need to do today in order to get to my goal? Yes. Okay. Shut up. Stop worrying so much. Be resilient. Because I believe resilience is a skill in itself. You know what I mean? It can be taught to a certain extent, but a lot of people give up at the first sign of it.
Before they get that.
Yeah, at the first sign, it's like when you're sparring someone, you know, they can be really skilled, but then the moment they get a little crack, it's like that's when the test actually begins. The test didn't start at the start of the round. The test starts once you're hurt or once you're knackered and you want to quit. Or you're going to. And I believe business is just the same, really. So I'll go with resilience.
Muhammad Ali said that. He's like, I only count when it starts hurting.
Yeah, that's the classic.
It's the exact same point.
Yeah.
I'd say another useful skill is just, again, doing more thinking less, zero overthinking.
Yeah.
That's what I mean when I say do more think less. I'm just trying to say limit the overthinking, because naturally, if you're a smart guy, it's easy to overthink. Like, I'm sure all of the viewers right now watching this are smart. You wouldn't be watching this kind of content if you weren't smart, right? When you're a smart guy, it's naturally easier to overthink because you're sat there thinking, okay, is this the best move? Is this the best move I can make? Is there a better move? What could go wrong? Could this actually be beneficial for me? Who else could I work with on this project? Should I do this myself? Should I not do it? Like, you're thinking of a million different things. But it's like you can't afford to spend that much time on that one thought. You have to just get on with it and just say, you know, what happens, happens. I just got to make the move and just, as long as it doesn't seem, you know what? Charlie Munger says this, so that's Warren Buffett's business partner. It's basically the same quote about the...
Rest in peace, isn't it? He's just passed away, yeah.
So he was just saying, the reason why Warren and I became so rich and we made so much progress effectively was just, we just avoided the stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
We weren't trying to make like the best moves. We weren't trying to make fancy moves. We weren't trying to be right. We were just trying to avoid being wrong. And I love that.
Oh, yeah, I've heard him say that. Yeah,
it's back to that whole Hormozy unreasonable thing you were saying.
Yeah.
It's just like, if you just make a video a day, it's pretty unreasonable to think you won't grow on YouTube. And then it's like, it's unreasonable to think you're not going to get a lot of other benefits as well. And what are the mistakes you're trying to avoid? Instead of trying to make the videos the best every single time, just try and avoid missing days of posting. Try and avoid having really boring videos. Yeah. And they're probably going to end up pretty good all the time.
Yeah. Okay, just off the back end of that, a good friend of mine has asked, did you fail a few times before being successful?
Is this for me or for you?
I guess for both of us, but he's also in business, so he's an online coach himself, a personal trainer, and he does pretty good, over 5 figures a month, I think just under 5 figures a month now, but he's been over 5 figures a month, and he's one of the better ones in the city. But yeah, did you fail a few times before being successful? And he knows the answer to this, but I guess it's just good for our audience to give how many times have you failed, or what were some of your biggest failures maybe?
Well, just loads of things. I mean, even that Snapchat thing we were just mentioning, that ended up not working out. Door to door for about 11 months. There was like a couple months during the COVID time, like March 2020 to May 2020, I couldn't knock on doors because we just weren't allowed to. Basically, my sales manager said you couldn't. So technically that was L's. I was just sat there in my mum's house during COVID, March to May 2020, just sat there by myself. Couldn't even go to the gym because the gyms were shut. Couldn't buy gym equipment because I was too broke to afford gym equipment. Like, everything was going wrong. So yeah, I fell loads of times on lots of things. I lost loads of money in Forex, lost like all my brother's lifetime savings. I asked him to give me his whole lifetime savings, took it out of his ISA account. He had like 5 grand. Got that 5 grand, turned it into like 18, 19 grand profit total, 20 grand, whatever it was. And then I lost it all because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just getting lucky. Like, so many little failures. So many little things as well I can't even remember. But now I'm like, oh shit, I did that and that. So for example, I was working in Amazon.
Yeah.
But I never really told the story.
No, I didn't know that.
So guess how long I worked at Amazon for?
I'll say
You're not
2
gonna
years.
No, way less. So this was
okay.
way less.
Okay. 3 days.
Less.
No.
Okay, I'll just tell you because you're not going to get literally 10 seconds.
No way.
So this was like during the whole COVID time. I was like, let me just apply to like Amazon warehouse just to get some money coming in. Do more, think less, just do more, right? Hustler mindset. I get there and they say you have to wear a mask. And I'm like, no, I can't wear a mask during this warehouse.
Yeah.
You have to. Yeah. I was just like, okay. I just threw it on the floor and left.
Wow.
Just got out of my car and left. So literally 10 seconds. But the point is, I've had so many L's, but I always took away something. But this is what I'm saying. I value freedom more than anything else. When they tell me to put a mask on, that's impeding on my freedom. Okay. So I was like, nah, fuck the Amazon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay. So it's like, for me, freedom was always the most important thing. That's why I was actually okay with my door-to-door sales job, because I was driving in my Volkswagen Polo every day to work. And I could choose how many doors I wanted to knock on. I could choose when I had my lunch break. I could choose when I started the day. I could choose when I ended the day. I could choose how slowly I knock on doors, how quickly I walk between doors. I felt like I had freedom even though I wasn't rich. And I could go to Bulgaria and Romania with my £300 in my bank account to go see the kickboxing fight, whatever. I felt like I had a bit of freedom.
Yeah.
So I was always tasting that life of freedom before I even had it.
Yeah.
But in terms of like failures, even to this guy who's making 5 figures or whatever with coaching, it's like, I want to just say to the viewers, every business, whether you're making 10 million a month or whether you're making 10K a month or whether you're making 1K a month, 4 figures or 3 figures, 100 a month, it's just you have a product and then you have people buying it.
Yeah.
And then it's just a case of, okay, the only way you can make more money is if you get more people, more clients, or if you increase the price of the product, or a little bit of both, or you decrease the cost. But let's just forget about decreased cost because you should be efficient anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm talking, you can increase the price or increase the number of sales you make or a bit of both. So really, this guy who's making 5 figures, how is he going to make 6 figures? He needs a lot more traffic.
He makes 5 figures a month. Yeah. So that's over 6. Oh, you mean over 6 figures a month?
Oh yeah, sorry, I mean 6 figures a month.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
So he makes 10 grand a month, let's say, which is over 6 figures a year. I'm talking about how can he make 100K a month, like 6 figures a month. So I'm saying, well, or even 7 figures a year, then whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, okay, then what he needs to do is get more traffic, increase the prices, of what he's selling. So let's say he's selling fitness program.
Yeah, just the online coaching, pretty much, yeah.
So let's just say it's X. If he charges 2X, now he's made double the money if he keeps the same number of customers. Yeah. I know it sounds so simple, but that's literally what it is with every business. So let's say you're a thumbnail designer. I have a guy who does my thumbnails right now. I pay him $25 a thumbnail, right? Okay. So let's say he wants to make money. Getting 25 per thumbnail is very small money.
Yeah.
But then it's like he could be paying right now some kid from India or Pakistan $5 a video. Sorry, $5 a thumbnail. And then he keeps 20 profit.
Okay.
But then you do that with many, many clients, and his job is just marketing himself and getting more and more clients. Says, I'm the thumbnail king, and then he gets testimonials and social proof.
Yeah.
He can basically get all these $20 for free, effectively, because he's got this little $5 kid here doing it for free.
Right, yeah.
Doing it for nothing.
Outsourced it, yeah. Okay.
So that's just how you build any kind of agency. You're just getting other people to do the work for you, and you can do that with short form content. You can build a brand up. I'm the short form king. I can run short form for you, Sean. You pay me this much. I take 20% of it, give it to these people over here, hire them for cheaper, and I keep 80% profit for myself.
Yeah.
And I just focus more on marketing.
That's essentially what we do.
Business.
I mean, he did do that. He had an employee and all that, but then it didn't work out. But essentially it is. It's just buying back your time, isn't it? That actually reminds me and takes us back to the skills? What the best skills, unappreciated skills for entrepreneurship? And I remember it was Alex Hormozy who told me, keep it simple as your business.
Keep it simple, stupid. That's that acronym.
KISS, yeah. I just wrote it down then. Simplicity scales, complexity fails.
I like that one. Yeah.
And because before we started the gym launch program, so if anyone knows Alex Hormozy out there, I was a part of the gym launch program pretty early on. And this was before Alex was what he was. I don't even think he had a YouTube channel back when I was a part of the program. And joining that program made me realize how complex my business was. And all it was is delivering fitness and nutrition. That's it. We've got a bunch of people coming in our groups. They do a bit of a workout a few times a week. And then we do a Facebook group, like a bit of nutrition stuff in there. That's it. But stuff got so complicated, and it's because everyone's got the hands in the pie. Staff meetings, everyone's got, we should do this. And then you think that that's a good idea, and you start focusing on the complexity, because at the end of the day, it goes back to what we're saying about entrepreneurship's kind of boring. You kind of feel like a natural inclination to have a little bit of excitement. Oh, yeah, maybe if we do that, oh, that's exciting. And the employees are thinking in all these exciting manners because they're bored just coaching the clients on a daily basis. But it's the simplicity. It's being able to do the simplicity at scale is what dictates your success. This is a massive lesson I've learned in business, and I've had to strip back a couple of my businesses now in order to build back up, because I set it up too complex. Have you ever had to do that yourself? Like strip back a bit?
It's so true, yeah. Whenever you're reaching a plateau, it's because you're trying to complex things too much. You're trying to complicate things too much.
There you go.
It's always that. Because you can make literally $10 million a month keeping things super, super simple. And it's like, you're not at that level, which means you're just overcomplicating things.
Yeah.
Like, there's big online businesses out there. Like, there's people selling info products and making 10, 15 million a month just because they've got a fuck ton of traffic and then they have a product.
Yeah.
Like, it's as simple as that. Now, obviously, if you're making that much compared to someone making 10K a month or 5K a month or 1K a month, like, what's the difference? Well, the difference is their info product, there's a lot more people, the difference is they have a lot more people physically buying, so they might have to have a couple more members on customer support.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, they might have to have like a full-time guy filming content for them or editing their website because maybe the website crashes because there's so many people clicking on the website.
Yeah.
Okay. But a couple more members of staff, a bit more pressure and like stress that, okay, I'm running a big company. But it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Like it's just the exact same because numbers never end. So it's like for me to get my calculator out now and type in the number 10,000 took 1 second. But if I typed in 10 million, like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like numbers are the same. It's just the difference of lifestyle it gives you is very different.
Yes.
But what I'm just trying to say is that it's the same level of complexity whether you're at that level or that level. Yeah, you might have a bit of tax problems. Yeah, you might have a bit of headache from 7 members of staff versus 1. Obviously not when you have 7. Then you might have 75 members of staff, but or 100 members of staff, whatever. But
it's trying to. I think the reason why the complexity comes into it as well, especially when you've got staff, because people will forever be the hardest part of any business, is because you've got more emotions in the mix. That's one thing I've always struggled with a little bit more because I can bet on myself like all the time. I know that I'll still do the work even if I'm having a bad day. But it's being able to get staff who are going to be able to scale your business, who will do the same. And in order for that to happen, they need to believe in the vision. What's going to make them show up on like when they're sick or on a sick day and still put in the work? It's because they believe in the vision and they don't want to let the rest of the team down. And in order to cultivate that culture, if you like, it is very, very difficult. Something I'm still learning like today. I've got to put, you said about tax, another little question I've had come in. Do you ever see yourself moving back to the UK?
Never say never, but probably not.
Yeah.
Why? Because I just feel like it's got that crab in the bucket mentality. I think people are naturally haters there. I like the UK. I was born there, I lived there my whole life, besides the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But no, probably not, because I feel like there's just so many better options. I'd rather be in America. I'd rather be traveling the world. I'd rather even live in, maybe, I was going to say Bali, but no, not all year round, not year round. But no, I'd rather live in Dubai, Europe, just somewhere in Europe. I'd rather live in Marbella. I'd rather live in Miami or Vegas or Los Angeles or Texas in the middle of some beautiful nature. Probably not England, no.
Yeah, so
it's dangerous, bro, and it's just the weather sucks. It's the weather sucks. People don't talk about this enough. No matter how nice a place is, I like UK people. Yeah, because I grew up there. But the weather just is so bad, and you can't go your whole life saying, yeah, but in the summer there's some good days. Like, bro. Yeah. I don't want to spend my whole life looking forward to just the summer. Yeah,
it was crap this year. There was about 2 weeks of summer anyway. So
wow, really?
Yeah, I agree. What's the difference in terms of mindset then you find? Because I love America, I love Dubai. What's the difference in mindset you find between like UK and America? Like, do you find people a little bit more success driven in
America? Like, I always feel like this. America, you know, like they almost worship money. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but I'm saying like America's like the American dream, capitalistic. Whereas UK, it's more like, who do you think you are, mate? Like, you know,
I agree.
Who do you think you are, like, trying to become a millionaire? It's definitely family's money, definitely scammer, fraudster, trapper, whatever, you know? Whereas America's like, oh, he could be just he could be a businessman, he could be an actual legitimate person. Like America, everyone believes the American dream is possible. Yeah. Whereas in the UK, it's like, you can't become a millionaire. Not self-made. It's not, and they don't think it's possible, the masses.
Do you think it's getting worse?
For sure. Yes and no, actually. Yes and no. The reason why I say yes and no is because nowadays with social media, like, bro, in my network, I got like 400 out of the 1,300 people, 1,400 people are from England.
Okay.
So there's a lot.
How many? 14?
Like 400, like 360 out of 1,400.
Okay, yeah.
So a lot are from England. A lot are from America as well. So there's definitely a lot of English people who know that's possible.
Yeah.
So those people know it's easier than ever. But there's also a lot of people who just think, oh, it's all a lie, it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Like even when I was in the barber in America, though, it's not all everyone believes in the good stuff.
Yeah,
There was one guy, listen to this bad story. So I was there with Francis, right? And we were live streaming on Telegram, actually. Because we're just, again, do more, think less, trying to kill a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just asking this lady, like, oh, how long is it left until I get a haircut? This dude here, he must have been annoyed because the way I spoke to him, even though I was very, like, polite. I was like, excuse me, like, how long? He got annoyed, blah, blah, blah. We were talking. He was like just bitching back and forth a bit. This guy's an idiot. He just asked, what do you do? And I was just mentioning like one of the things I do. And like, oh, I met Francis from him. Trying to like lighten up the conversation. Yeah. So why would someone, like, and it's a bullshit voice. And why would someone pay you so much money for this? Like, sounds like a scam. Francis literally said, I bought this Rolex, got this car, changed my life because of this network and the people I met and all this stuff. And he just couldn't understand how meeting other people and talking to people could progress you in life. Yeah. Could propel you to another level. See, and he was even, you know what else he was saying to me? He's like, oh, so he was asking me about cars. I was like, okay, this is my chance to annoy him. I was like, yeah, I have 6 supercars and all these things. And he was like, are they all 2023? I was like, no, they're not actually. You know, because then they depreciate more and all these things. And I just don't see the point. Yeah. He's like, like, what's the point then? Yeah. I was like, what's the point? You got to treat yourself, man. If Francis can talk about this.
It's about the barber.
The barber in America.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's just an idiot. It's like, if you haven't got 2023 supercars, there's no point even having them.
If it doesn't have 0 miles on the dash.
Yeah, he's like, you should have 0 miles on the dash. Like, mate, then it just depreciates 50% on the foot. Like, wow.
You know his mindset is never going to be successful, because if that was me, I'd be like, well, okay, so what value do you bring? Or what do you get for that money then? You'd ask a different quality of question.
For sure. Even if you don't understand it, yeah, you'd be like, if there's people paying for it, and this kid right now is literally in the same shop as us, I'm saying he was in my network. He is in my network.
Yeah.
All right, mate. What made you join the network?
Yeah. You're just destined.
But I feel like in America, it's more natural to start a business. 100% is. There's less red tape as well. It's easier to start businesses than in other countries.
Okay.
People want to start businesses in America.
Yeah.
People want to collab. It's not weird to just meet someone for the first time, but let's make money together.
People
learn. That's what I love about America. I feel more American in a way than British.
Yeah.
Because I have more of that culture, mindset of hustle.
I think I do as well. In this, I mean, it makes sense the fact that the audience is predominantly American, so maybe like I'm on that same wavelength. I've got my answer, but I know a lot of other people like have this question in general in their minds, and it's a good question to ask. Can money buy happiness? The basic question, and how would you break that question and answer down?
Yeah, all right. I'm going to give you a good answer, or my authentic answer.
Yeah.
So, no, money doesn't buy happiness for sure, but for someone who's ambitious and for someone who has like a goal in life to become rich, to be financially free, to have that freedom we were talking about, to look after a family like we were talking about, to have nice things as well. You wanted the nice cars, I have the nice cars, right? All these kind of things, right? For someone who has these ambitions, if you don't get the money, that means you haven't almost hit one of your life goals, which means you've failed and you've not made the progress you wanted. So then you're sad. So by extension, you could say it does buy you happiness in some ways. But it's more so, I'm the kind of guy, I think every ambitious guy is like this as well. You get happiness based on your achievements and your progression. I like the word progression.
Yeah,
not even achievements. Progress. Whether it's number of followers, number of dollars, number of times someone said, I like your video, how much you lift in the gym. Just progress in all areas of life. Family, whether it's having another kid, how many times you see your mum a week or month or year. That's progress in my opinion. So as long as I feel like I'm making progress, that's what gives me happiness. Because I'm telling you, there's been moments where I've had 100K to my net worth, and I've been happier than times now. Just because the times now, maybe I'm going through a slight little plateau for that couple day period. I'm like, everything's gone wrong. But then the third day, I'm king of the world, but life's amazing again. So it's just whether you feel like you're making progress or not. So I feel like the only thing that gives me happiness is working hard, because then it leads to the progress. And really, hard work is progression. I remember Drake said this as well. He's like, the work is the reward. Like, I never understood that at the start, but like, it makes complete sense. Like, the ability and the freedom to almost work on what you want is the reward. That is the happiness.
Yeah, Alex Hormozy says the work is the goal. So he removes like the outcome completely, and he goes, the work is the goal. To do the work.
I like that.
Because that's the journey, isn't it? The work is the journey. That's the goal ultimately. Otherwise, because when do you get to the end destination? And I think sorry, I was going to say, I think like the question in itself is flawed, because happiness is such a temporary emotion.
Yeah, what is happiness?
It's a temporary emotion, just as, sometimes you do feel a little bit sad, sometimes you feel angry, sometimes, you feel brave, sometimes you feel happy. So it's temporary. So it is a bit of a flawed question. But what were you going to say?
I forgot what I was going to say.
I can answer, and then if it comes back to you.
I just wanted to say, like...
Okay, go on.
Happiness is obviously fleeting, but just like... Oh, that's what I was going to say. I'm going to say, like, say your goal is to become Wimbledon champion, and you train years and years to be like... Let's say you're Rafa Nadal. You train years and years and years, you finally win Wimbledon. All right, that moment of being happy in Wimbledon, that evening, when you get back home to your hotel room.
Yeah.
It must be crazy. You've won Wimbledon, it was your goal. Wow, what a feeling. But then it's like within 2 days, again, you've already go back to training. You got to drink your protein shake in the morning that you might not want to drink. You got to sleep on time, because then you got to train for the next competition, US Open or whatever it is. And then it's like you're back to just the grind. So it's like that 10 years that you're just looking forward to, that one Wimbledon moment. 2 days versus 10 years. I think it's a lot smarter as a person. You're a lot more rational to think, you know what? These 2 days are going to come anyway. When they happen, it's going to be fucking amazing. It's going to be mile high, all-time amazing, like fun, all-time happiness, right? It's better to just think, you know what, I want to enjoy these 10 years more than these 2 days. Fuck the 2 days, because 2 days versus 10 years, I'm taking my 10 years in terms of, it's just too much longer.
Yeah.
Enjoy the 10 years, enjoy the process.
Yeah,
I know it's cliche, I know.
That's the problem though, is like I think people want a sexy answer. But it is very cliche. It's like, okay, but then what? Like you do the 10 years, you win Wimbledon, and then what? Obviously, I know it's the cliche example, but Tyson Fury, he won the world title, and he said, because that was so much my goal. It was like, well, then what? Well, training's the only thing that makes me happy. So I've just went back to doing that. Yeah, because it was always the training. You trained first, realised you was good at it, then the fights themselves, the competitions and the world titles, that became almost the side quest. If you think about it, they're the side quest. You was training because you didn't go into the boxing gym straight away and went, I want to be world champion, the first boxing session. It's usually just like you start it as a hobby, or your dad puts you into it or something, and then you develop the love for it. But the love is for the thing that you're doing, not those little pit stops along the way.
Even sometimes my brother says things like, well, he used to, not so much anymore. But at the start, he used to be like, oh, we should like enjoy our money more. I think it was him, or maybe even, I think it was him. He would just be like, oh, we should enjoy our money more, kind of travel more. And I was like, well, I'm already traveling a lot. Yeah. Like sometimes I think I'm not enjoying it that much, but then it's like, no, I am, because if I wanted to go to Bali tomorrow, I could. But most of the time, I'm just sat here. Like, I enjoy my daily life is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like this is better than a holiday. I literally live in a holiday place. Yeah. Like people come to Dubai for a holiday. I live in Dubai. So then it's like, I'm already living my perfect daily life.
That's true. Yeah.
So you can't.
So there's always more. So it's like, now you're here. And it's like, well, no, we need to be here now. When it's like, okay,
we're already here. Yeah.
It's like just stop and smell the roses a little bit.
I think it's important to smell. I think it's important to be grateful, but always push for more. Because you've got to be grateful to be happy with what you have, and then you're pushing for more to ensure future happiness. So it's like I've never even spoken about it like that, but yes, it's like a double whammy of happiness. Be grateful so that you enjoy everything you've just done, and then.
I love this. I made up that you mentioned this because this is something that I've specifically spoken about this year to the people who are closest to me. Is this year, just like with me health being knocked out of whack and all that, it's kind of made me be a little bit more grateful and express gratitude. I used to look at those people who say, oh, I wake up and I do me gratitude and gratitude journal. I'm like, oh, shut up, just get the work done. But kind of being this year, I'm like, do you know what? I had a few scares there where I thought I was having a heart attack and I'm going to die. Like, it literally felt like that. And it's like made me go, oh, do you know what? I've kind of got it good, relax. But here's the thing. I have this thing in my mind of like, right, I want to practice gratitude, but also don't let it make you complacent, because I believe people often use gratitude as an excuse to why they're complacent. Yeah. Well, like it's the age-old example of where you can say, well, do you know what? I'm earning £1,500 a month. I'm paying me bills. And there's kids starving in Africa, so it's not that bad.
It is that bad.
You know what I mean? I'm grateful. But it's like, no, you can still be grateful and hungry at the same time. Just because there's a kid starving in Africa doesn't mean that you cannot make it your duty to support your family better.
The way I look at it is, it is like a ratio of gratitude versus aggressive, be a greedy motherfucker. I think the ratio is like 85-15. Isn't 85 aggressive, be a greedy motherfucker, and 15% gratitude. Like, you need to stop being too grateful. Like, even me now, I'm grateful, but it's like, in my mind, it's like, I deserve to be here. So this is the least I need. This is how I think. So it's like 15%, okay, thank you, God, for this life. This is amazing. 4 years ago, I was knocking on doors. I got kicked out of uni. People thought I was crazy. Yeah. But 85%, like, okay, a couple months, I'm going to buy a Bugatti Veyron and all these things. And that's cool. Yeah, I'm going to buy this house. Okay, I'm going to go here. I'm going to build this network. I'm going to do this. I'm going to meet new people. I'm going to learn more. But just look forwards.
So what we're basically saying is that too much gratitude makes you a pussy.
100%. I 100% agree. Bro, there's so many people who are grateful to live in their parents' house. Like, there are people starving, but also, like, you are objectively a loser. And those people starving were born in bad circumstances, dire circumstances, whereas you were born in the Western world, you could have been anything, but you chose to be nothing because you're lazy as fuck. You deserve to be unhappy. You shouldn't be grateful. Why are you writing in a journal if you live in a council house? You shouldn't be writing in a journal. You should be attacking.
Yeah, okay, right, here's one for you. Okay, let's say you've got someone in front of you and you want to give them like kind of like a quick paragraph on how to not be a loser in life. Like how should someone's overarching life look to not be a bum, not be a loser? Like what does that picture look like for you? Because obviously we've all got our own perspectives of that.
How to not be a loser? Well, when you think of a loser and you think of a nerd, I was thinking this the other day. What is a nerd? And I came to the definition that a nerd is actually someone who can't really get girls. When you usually think of a nerd, it's usually like someone who can't get girls. Because when someone can get girls, you never use the word they're a nerd. Sorry, if someone can get girls, even if they're poor, even if they're everything else, you wouldn't use the word nerd to describe them. You might be like, he's lazy, but you wouldn't say the word nerd. Nerd is usually like, he just hasn't got anything to him. And usually if you've got nothing to you, you're not going to get women, right? So I'd say that's a nerd. But in terms of how to not be a loser...
No charisma as well. I think that's like a nerd, yeah.
So I'd say a loser, how to not be a loser, well, you got to have some physical level of strength for sure. Otherwise, no guy's going to respect you. I'd say you have to work on your communication. You have to be able to make eye contact. You have to be able to have high energy. Like, people don't talk about this enough. Like, you sleep 8 hours. For the rest of the day, you should be able to just do task after task after task without really being tired one bit. Okay, yeah, yesterday I slept really late. I woke up late today. We're a bit late to get started today. But cool, today I'll sleep earlier. I'll wake up earlier. I'll be fine tomorrow. And I'm still fine now. It's like 2.5 hour podcast. I could go for 7 hours, right? I can talk non-stop.
If anything, I've felt more energized as it went. We felt tired before, but
yeah, exactly that. Again, do more, think less, you'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
So I'd say learn how to speak, learn how to just be high energy, learn how to network with people, learn how to maintain high-level relationships, don't snake people, right? Know when to speak, when not to speak, all these things. And I'll say you have to learn how to make money. You have to provide for yourself because men are protectors and providers. So you got to make money. I know I'm not trying to be that online guru, but you just do. And like nowadays, there's just no excuse because there's people making money selling a gym. Sorry, like having a gym and people sign up with gym memberships. There's people selling fitness programs online. There's people, helping you with your short form content and they sell that service. There's people editing YouTube videos. There's people who are full-time videographers in Dubai. Right, we were looking at some the other day.
Yeah.
There's people who, are middlemen and they help people relocate companies to Dubai. There are people who have trading brokers. There are people who have, door-to-door sales team selling boilers. There are people who sell an info product. There are people who sell an e-com course. Like, you can choose one of these 27 million things.
That's just off the top of your head as well.
Right, and if I sit there, it's like way more. I'm just thinking of people in my network and what they do, and it's like, just choose one of them. So all of those things, what have I just mentioned? Products and services.
Yeah.
Those 12 things I just mentioned. Okay, then it's like, the only thing that's missing, the only variable that's missing is people.
Yeah.
We need people buying, all those things you just mentioned.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, how do you get people interested? Well, you just have to make sure the product is good because then you can actually sell it with more conviction. Even in this podcast, think about how many times I've mentioned New Money, which is my network. In my Telegram, I'm mentioning it all the time because I genuinely, mom's life, believe it's the best decision any young guy can make in their life. I'd put my life on it.
Yeah.
I put me on a life because I'm past it. Because I know how much has changed my life. I live with the guy from my network and now we have 5 Shopify brands. I would have never got into Shopify.
Yeah.
Do you think, bro, I hate fiddling around with a computer. Like, I can't do that.
Yeah,
it's not my skill set.
Yeah.
But I know sales, I know other things. So you don't need to. You just talk to someone who knows something. You see me how bad I am with technology, setting up cameras. I wouldn't even be able to set up this tripod with this camera, with this lighting. What the fuck is this? Like, I don't even know how to charge.
Like,
I know how to charge this. Okay, that was an exaggeration. But like, I don't know anything with technology.
Yeah.
Sean does.
Yeah.
Ask him.
But once again, you've got this far, haven't you? I think that's some fantastic practical advice.
What would you say, bro?
There. Well, I was
not be a loser.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of covered the majority of stuff there, but I think another way you could define being a nerd is someone with no confidence, isn't it? Like, which obviously bleeds into getting girls.
But then couldn't you say that no confidence comes from he's not doing all the things we just mentioned of how not to be a loser?
Well, yes. So to transition into that, I've spoke to people. I know people. I've had friends and past friends who've said to me, "It's okay. It's all right for you. You're confident." I'm like, you don't understand. I never used to be confident.
Yeah.
And like, people just think confidence is something that you are born with. Maybe some people are, but I believe it's learned. And
it's definitely learned.
What is it? Competence breeds confidence. Mm-hmm. The more competent you are in different aspects and realms of life, the more confidence you will grow. Funny enough, during COVID 2020, 2022, my confidence was at an all-time low. Do you know why? Because I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't able to run my gym.
Me too.
I wasn't even doing any online coaching. I was just making sure the PTs were paying a little bit of rent to keep the gym open. I was just making sure the police didn't bust down the door. I was barely training. I was out of shape. And yeah,
you weren't making as much money, right?
Yeah,
wasn't in the best shape.
F4, yeah.
And you're at home a lot of the time because lockdowns.
Drinking, smoking weed.
And I was at home, couldn't train because I had no gym equipment.
Yeah.
Was completely broke. I'd been kicked out of uni 6 months before. Objectively, I'm still not a loser because I was always, let's say, good at the other stuff besides money. But in my mind, you could argue career-wise, I was objectively a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Because I'd taken a gap year before I went to uni. So I had a gap year, then had a year of uni, then got kicked out. So 2 years just gone down the drain. So I was like, objectively, career-wise, I'm a loser right now.
Yeah, okay.
So I felt like you. That was the most depressed I've been in my life. But I knew it's just temporary because I had to get through that bullshit. So I was always still happy even though I was a bit depressed because I knew just got to ride it out.
Yeah.
And wasn't that like when there was like the most male suicide in those months?
I think there was, yeah.
People are at home all day. They have time to analyse how shit their lives are. They've got no money. They've got no family.
Yeah.
Like, at least you had your girl there, right?
Yeah,
I was just at my mum's house.
She was pregnant sleeping on the couch with that, like a big hippo.
So you had that to look forward to at least.
It was great because she just slept all day and I was left alone, but that was almost a part of the problem. I was just left alone to drink and smoke weed and eat friggin' sweets all day.
You become fat?
Oh yeah. I proper piled it on. But
you got proper like excited when you spoke about that. You're just visualizing all the Krispy Kreme donuts.
Oh, it was terrible. Yeah, I'll go to Home and Bargain every day.
How much did you weigh?
Laces. Well, I wasn't like I was probably about 15 stone, so about 95 kilos.
Okay, still yeah.
But then we went to IB for that year then, and I lost weight and got in the shape of my life that year in 2021. But it's like 2018, 2019, I was at the highest of highs. My strength was through the roof, business was flying. So, and I was confident than ever. I was standing in front of all the members. We'd get a big injection of 40 members into the gym who were going to start our group training program, and I'd stand up in front of them and I'd do public speaking, as you say. Before that, I never done any public speaking.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I've got like 10, 20, 30, 40 people coming in, all standing there with their arms crossed, looking at me like, what am I doing here? And I've got to coach them and get the guards down and teach them about nutrition. Like, by the end of it, I was really good at that. So it's like being competent at the training, at the business side of things, at this, at that, at fighting. That's what gave me the confidence. Now all of a sudden I can't do any of it. My confidence just dissipated. And then I found you can lose confidence a lot faster than it takes to build it. It's like you lose like this and then you build it like that, gradually over time again, from putting in the daily actions.
I was actually agreeing with everything, but at the end, I don't know if I fully agree with this. So it's interesting we disagree. The rest of it you said the opposite before, didn't you? But go on. Yeah, because I actually think that you can gain confidence very, very quickly. So tell me what you think after I finish my point. So I think, let's say you take the Biggest Loser right now. Maybe out of however many views there is, the number one ranked Biggest Loser watching this right now, maybe he really doesn't feel good about himself, not in the physique he wants, not making any money, no girlfriend, nothing, right? But if you take him to the gym, let's say he went to the gym with you, or he just went to the gym with his boy, got a little bench press pump, chest pump, right? Had a protein shake at the gym, or maybe made one when he got back home. He cleared his room, he tidied his room, and he just opened his laptop and searched like on YouTube how to make money online. Or maybe he just came across this video, and now he's watching this video after his chest pump. You can't tell me that guy isn't feeling on top of the world compared to like who he was before. He's something, you know what I mean? Have I sold it to you a bit?
No. And I'll tell you why. It's good to actually disagree on something.
Yeah.
So, but I know what you're saying though, and I actually agree to a certain extent, because I just believe that confidence is short-lived. It's a temporary boost, because think about it this way. It's time dose dependent. If someone spends, let's say, 5 years or 2 years or...
Wait, sorry, what we are... Oh, okay, because then I agree with what you're saying. I'm not saying he's Mr. Chad confident. I'm saying... Sorry, maybe I mis-explained my point. I'm trying to say he's feeling way better about his situation now, and he's in a much...
Totally. No, I understand that, yeah. I know you're not saying like a Chad, but I just believe that confidence boost is short-lived, because when you spend a certain amount of time with particular circumstances, what happens is you have ingrained beliefs, thought patterns, stories, and excuses that you tell yourself on a daily basis that take a while to relearn and to get out of your system. So you're all right. You'll go to the gym and you'll feel pumped, and maybe you get a little look off a girl. Oh, that's cool. But then you've spent a disproportionate amount of time in the negative. So it's like, okay, now you spent an hour in the positive. Yeah. So it goes back to what we said before about stacking those actions. And that's why I believe it's about stacking a disproportionate amount of positive actions in your favour to outweigh those negative actions that are pulling your confidence down, so you can long-term bring your confidence up. So now, if I miss a day of uploading on YouTube or training or whatever, my confidence stays still high, because I've stacked a lot of time doing the stuff that boosts me confidence, being competent. So if I miss one day, it's not that bad. But I hope I'm trying to explain this properly.
I get what you're saying. That you're kind of, I think, maybe you're talking more about like true lasting confidence as like...
Yeah, like deep.
I'm talking more about like, okay, like even myself right now, I say my biggest weakness or my biggest whatever is sleeping late, waking up late. Yeah. Which means then, I think that's a big thing I can work on. So let's say tomorrow I wake up at 10 a.m. because sometimes I wake up at like 1 p.m. If I wake up at 10 a.m., I really believe instantly I'm a way more confident, better person. But like you said, it is short-lived, because if I go back to waking up at 1 p.m., then I'm back to my baseline level of how I feel.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying completely as well. I'm just talking about if you're a viewer right now watching this at home and you're not in the best position, I believe you can instantly change how you feel But it is, I completely agree with what you're saying. It is short-lived, but you can instantly change how you feel, but it is short-lived. Just like how if you're eating 2,000 calories a day now, you're maintaining body weight. But then if you eat 6,000 a day, you're going to instantly gain weight. Now, obviously, that's too big of a surplus. I'm using that as an extreme example. But instantly, you gain weight. Now, if you instantly stop eating so much food, you're going to instantly go back to where you were. But instantly, you're going to start gaining weight. Just like how instantly you're going to start feeling better. But it is short-lived, like Sean said. I do agree with that.
Okay, so then we do agree then. We don't even disagree. It's kind of like your metabolism. It's like you might have heard of the epoch effect, exercise post-oxygen consumption. When you do HIIT training or weight training, your metabolism increases ever so slightly post-workout. That's not really much to do much in terms of fat loss. But if you train 6 days a week, now you've had a few short bursts every single day, so your metabolism is going to be a little bit faster. Yeah. So it's the same sort of thing. It's just about stacking those confidence-building actions and behaviours on a daily basis, and then before you know it, you look back at your year and you go, hey, do you know what? I feel fantastic. But like when you're deep in it and you're in the process, it's hard to really gauge how you feel truly. You have to look back and go, do you know what? I started 2023 in a bad place. I've ended 2023 in a fantastic place. But it was done slowly over time. So, yeah, we actually agree on that.
And the thing is as well, though, is like, as you just make that first move, whether it's like tidying your room after you go from the gym or have that protein shake or go to get that chest pump, like I was saying, you can start, and that's the one big advantage as well, though. You can start envisioning the future and start thinking to yourself, okay, right now, this is how good I feel after just such a small amount of work.
Yeah.
Then you almost get this level of like, inner good feeling about like, okay, in 2 weeks' time, I could feel way better if I just continue doing it. But yeah, it ultimately fucking comes down to like if you're actually going to continue stacking them, like Sean's saying. Yeah. Otherwise, you're not going to ever feel good. That's just like you said, it's short-lived. Just like a pump is short-lived in the gym. To actually get the gains from the gym, then you've got to eat when you get home and sleep. And
okay,
so, yeah,
right. I've got a question that I have a particular opinion on, and maybe this can be the last question. What's your opinion on retirement? Like an idea behind it. Do you see yourself retiring? Like,
if you don't use it, you lose it. You know, if you like the moment you retire, the moment you expire. You know, the moment you stop, the moment you feel like you're dying. So for me, I don't think about retirement. I have never really thought about retirement. Yeah. I think that's my answer. Keep it short and sweet. Yeah, just do more, think less. One day when you're sat on your 85 million, you're sat on your 3 million, if that's what you want, or you're sat on your 1 million, you're sat on your 500K, whatever goal you have in your mind of financial freedom. Then you can sit there and think, you know what, I want to kind of just stop working so hard.
Yeah, I agree.
It.
I can never imagine someone like who actually wants to achieve anything, getting to the point where they're going, right, I'm done now, and just like finishing.
Because you can readjust. I think McGregor said this recently. He was like, it's not that. He said, I'm never going to retire. They're like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean never? What do you mean never retire? And he was like, I'll just recalibrate my competition. And that's such a great quote. Yeah, he's not going to fight. Saying that. He's not going to fight prime Khabib. Or people who are at the top of their game, maybe like Dustin Poirier and all these people forever. Yeah. People like on that level. But he'll fight in another competition. Maybe it'll be like one-arm boxing. Yeah. Or maybe it'll be, he said, if I'm in a wheelchair, it'll be wheelchair boxing. Yeah. I think that's such a great mindset. Just recalibrate your competition. Maybe, you know, like once you've had a certain number of, let's say you said you wanted 4 sons, right?
Yeah. I love it.
Maybe
10.
Okay, after you've had this many sons, you're like, okay, I can't just keep having, oh, you actually can, potentially, but maybe that was a bad example. But what I'm saying is you just recalibrate what you're working on. Maybe you finish YouTube, like, you know, I'm done making videos, but now I want to conquer this world. Yeah. But then you just do that. Like, you don't have to retire, because what else are you going to do? Sit here and just sit in the pool. I've probably used that pool 5 times in 6 months. No, let's just say 8 times to be on the safe side. 8 times in 6 months. Right now it's cold in December. I got a hot tub to make it to have something warm. But what am I going to do? Sit in the pool and just look at the sky? It's not as fun as you think.
Exactly. People have this false idea that it's like, oh, I can't wait for a time. I'm going to sit on the beach and have a cocktail. I'm like, okay.
Women do that. Women do that.
Yeah. You're just going to continue to have cocktails every day.
I go for a lot of time. She sits down on these sun lounges behind us. Okay. But I'm just attacking the next thing.
Yeah. It's boring. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think that's a fantastic place to wrap it up. I mean, how long's that? About 2.5 hours? Something like that. I hope this has brought plenty of value to you guys. We tried to answer all your questions and go through different topics. But so where can they find you, Hassan? All your socials and your program?
On Instagram, Mr. Overpaid. On Twitter, Mr. Overpaid. So MROVERPAID is very self-explanatory, Mr. Overpaid. On YouTube, it's Hassan Overpaid. That's the main stuff. And I have a network called New Money. You can just follow me on these social medias. You know more about it anyway. But that's it.
Yeah, fantastic. Go give them a
podcast.
follow on that. Yeah, that was fantastic. If you guys want to build muscle naturally, I know it might not look like it now, but I'll get back in great shape this year. Check out my Natural Physique Academy and my Fighter's Physique Blueprint, which is coming 2024.
What is the Fighter's Physique?
Oh, yeah. So I've got the Natural Physique Academy, but because I'm getting back into fighting, I'm basically going to have like I'm going to merge them, and it's going to be an all-encompassing program showing you how to build muscle naturally, but without compromising your speed, agility, your performance with regards to fighting. Then we're also going to have a few modules in there on like self-defense, how to defend yourself. I'm getting
full package, full fitness package.
Yeah. So then, but also if you want to learn how to actually defend yourself on the street and stuff, and getting me kickboxing coach and me boxing coach involved and stuff. So good. Yeah, it's if you want to build muscle and just learn how to defend yourself and build your confidence, and also have a little network, it's that's what it's going to be. Yeah,
it's probably the easiest way to build your confidence.
I think
you never see some crazy big strong guy who can also fight. Is that really struggling with insecurities?
Yeah.
It's usually not like that. So
yeah, I know.
Go check that out as well, boys, because I'm probably going to post this video on my channel as well.
Yeah,
maybe after a week or
good
something.
stuff. Okay, like the video, subscribe, and see you on the next one.
Awesome.